spine-tingling atmosphere inside Villa Park as we remember one of their great servants, Chris Nichols. Some lovely footage of him on the big screens in each corner of the ground, and now we are just about ready to go. Emi Martinez, Villa's goalkeeper, Konza, Torres and Longley, the three centre-backs, Matty Cash and Luca Dean, the two wing-backs, John McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Yuri Tielemans, Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins up front. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, just looks at both goalkeepers, checks they're ready. Ollie Watkins has come running over to the side of the pitch for a last-minute adjustment. Vicario in goal for Tottenham, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Udogie, Bissouma and Pap Sarr in Tottenham's midfield, Kulusevski, Maddison and Brennan Johnson starts today with Son Heung-min, the skipper, through the middle. Douglas Luiz, the Brazilian, plays back to his Argentine goalkeeper Martinez, and out it goes to the right to Konza, and Matty Cash is there in support. Matty Cash's low pass up towards the halfway line. Leon Bailey not given a moment on the ball by Van de Ven, who comes in and wins it, roughly shoves him to the floor. Tottenham have it just inside the Villa half. Offside flag up against Villa, so Tottenham get a free kick. How about that for a bit of early defending from Van de Ven, Conor Coady?
I'll tell you what, Ali, I think we'll be seeing a few offsides today with how high the line is from Tottenham, but listen, that's how Van de Ven wants to press. He wants to attack, he wants to be on the front foot and stepping in to defend for his team, and now Tottenham are back on the ball.
Yeah, Tottenham have taken the free kick. All white kit, dark blue numbers on their backs, playing from left to right in the first half. Thunderous noise inside the ground. Tottenham kicking towards the giant Holt end away to our right. Son comes deep, collects the ball, lays it off to Van de Ven. Low pass from him, out to Brennan Johnson, looking for the run of Udogie beyond him, passes the ball straight out of play, and it goes out for a throw-in to Aston Villa in the right-back position. Unai Emery with the hood down on his coat. I'm presuming, I can't actually see him, I'm presuming that's Ange Postecoglou.
You're hoping that's Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, but we can't see him because the back of his head is entirely shrouded by the hood of his big blue coat. Villa throw on the right. Liverpool, Manchester City. Don't be fooled by the kick-off time this afternoon. 3:45 in full. Steve Crossman and the team at Anfield. We'll be bringing you that one. And of course, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Burnley. Both kick off at 2 this afternoon. Brighton, Nottingham Forest available as a commentary on Sports Extra, and West Ham, Burnley, if you want to listen to that in full, that is available via the BBC Sports website and app. Leon Bailey's on the ball, running away from Udogie. Udogie gets a foot in. Bailey goes tumbling, wants a free kick, but it's only given as a throw into Tottenham. Bailey slowly picks himself up, shaking his head. The throw-in is taken. Bissouma plays it across to the 21-year-old Pap Sarr, back in the Tottenham team, slightly overhits the pass, asks a bit too much of Porro there, who then has to make a tackle. Assistant referee's not sure which way to give that, eventually puts the flag up and says that's a throw-in for Villa. Conor.
Again, Ali, I'm just trying to work out how Aston Villa are playing, and we mentioned before again about it being a back five. We think it is. We actually went with Power in the middle, but Longley looks to be in the middle. And we just seen there about the team wanting to be aggressive. Pow stepping in to win the ball back, but it does look like a back five for Aston Villa.
Yeah, here's Konza on the right hand side of the three. Brennan Johnson snapping into a challenge, wins the ball, and it goes behind for a goal kick. They've had to manage Pau Torres just a little bit recently. 45 minutes he played in the home win over Nottingham Forest. He was an unused substitute against Luton in the Premier League last weekend, and then played the first 45 minutes against Ajax on Thursday in the 0-0 draw. Goal kick taken. Villa are going to play out. Konza's under pressure. Tottenham pressing high again. Brennan Johnson goes chasing. Matty Cash trying to get away from him. Johnson makes the tackle, but he's fouled Cash in doing that, and that'll be a free kick to Villa. 0-0, 3.5 minutes play.
Tottenham have started really well on the front foot, aggressive, trying to win the ball back high at the pitch. You just look at the back four for Tottenham, and they're actually over the halfway line. There's space in behind, but you look at Vicario's position, like we were speaking about before the game, in terms of being aggressive, but it's a great start from Tottenham.
Slip from Matty Cash. Tottenham are able to keep the ball in play in an attacking position on the left. Maddison gets on the ball for the first time this afternoon. Skies just seem to be brightening ever so slightly above us. Unremittingly grey skies so far today, spewing out a constant stream of drizzle. And here's Maddison on the left, strokes the ball infield to Udogie, under pressure from Konza, who's come high up into his own half there. Johnson bursts onto the ball, lays it off to Son. Tottenham have lost it. Douglas Luiz casually steps in, plays back to Longley in the middle of the three centre-backs. Emi Martinez, short pass to the edge of the box to Douglas Luiz. Back here to Longley again, long driven ball with the right foot, bounces inside the Tottenham half. Ollie Watkins gets there first, heads it forward, the angle's tight for him, Van de Ven's back at in, makes the challenge, and goalkeeper Vicario comes sliding across the byline and is able to keep the ball in play, and Ollie Watkins is down hurt.
I tell you what, that shows the quality of both them players. First and foremost, Ollie Watkins chasing a little bit of a nothing ball, but then the pace of Van de Ven, exactly what everybody speaks about in terms of what he does.
Aston Villa fans not happy. Ollie Watkins is down, not a head injury. Tottenham are allowed to keep playing. Aston Villa now win the ball, and Tielemans immediately knocks it out of play. Now he had a chance to go forward there, decided against it, almost as if to make the point to Tottenham that they should have put the ball out of play, and Watkins down is a big concern.
It's a massive concern for Aston Villa. I think it's something where we all know how big Ollie Watkins is, but that run and the way he chased a little bit of a knocking ball was absolutely fantastic. I just hope he gets up now and he gets back playing.
Just watching the challenge again. Van de Ven has a swing with his left foot, Watkins has a swing with his right. Van de Ven gets the ball, then catches Watkins with the follow through. He's holding his right shin. Thankfully he's back on his feet, grimacing in pain, but play's about to get back underway. West Ham Burnley kicks off at 2. Sahel Sahi has the team news for us.
David Moyes makes 4 changes to the 11 that lost in Germany to Freiburg in the Europa League. Areola, he comes back in between the sticks with Agard, Cresswell and Calvin Phillips, the other 3. Burnley, they're unchanged as they seek a first Premier League win since the 23rd of December.
Commentary of that game online this afternoon. Leon Bailey caught offside. So you're right, Conor, with that flag, those flags are going to be going up and down all afternoon, aren't they?
Yeah, I can see it. And it was offside, but I think Aston Villa will be looking for that ball out to the wing backs, as you say, and then spinning it in behind for Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins with a pace here.
Matty Cash has lost his footing twice as well in the first 5 minutes of this game. Slipped as he played that ball forward for Bailey down the right, so that's worth keeping an eye on. Good turn from Sarr to get away from Tielemans. Tielemans comes scrambling back, trying to stop him in his tracks. Tottenham keep playing. Kulusevski to Bissouma. Bissouma with a balletic crossfield pass onto the chest of Udogie in his pink boots. Little floated ball into Son. Laid back to Udogie, edge of the box. Sarr turns and plays it here to Porro. Porro's 25 yards from goal in the inside right position. Low pass to Kulusevski. Back to Porro on the right, just outside the area. Crossing towards the near post. Nearly caught Martinez out, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Brighton Nottingham Forest kicks off at 2 in the Premier League this afternoon as well. Chris Temple has the teams there.
And Brighton makes 7 changes from their defeat in Rome, which includes recalls for Evan Ferguson and Ansu Fati. Forest have Chris Wood back after 7 games out. He's in for Elanga. Danilo replaces Hudson-Odoi.
Commentary of that one on Sports Extra, which is why Wales-France in the Six Nations, that kicks off at 3. Commentary of that this afternoon starts online, and then the second half, once Brighton Nottingham Forest is done, will be on Sports Extra. Rugby Union Daily podcast, well worth a listen today, always worth a listen. But the post-match reaction to the two big stories in the Six Nations yesterday, all there for you. From Twickenham with Chris Jones and the team as Longley plays the ball up to Watkins. He's able to hold on to that, then caught by Kulusevski. He's in the wars. He's Aston Villa's centre forward. Stretched to control the ball the second time. Kulusevski in with the challenge, caught him on the ankle. Again, Watkins is down hurt, but he's okay.
I tell you what, it's great play from Ollie Watkins though, isn't it? Just relieving the pressure a little bit, and that's what you want from your striker. That's what he brings you, coming to receive the ball, taking it away from Romero and then winning a foul. It's a great bit of pressure from Ollie Watkins, and it just settles it a little bit for Aston Villa, just because Spurs have started ever so well.
Huddersfield still leading West Brom by 1-0 in the Championship. Connor's obviously keeping a keen eye on all of that. Bristol City Swansea kicked off at 12:30. That one is still goalless. John McGinn has lost it just outside his own penalty area. Foul given against Bissouma. Tottenham unhappy. Villa get the free kick. Goal at Huddersfield. Tom Gale.
Visitors have equalised, Ali. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 1. Vyman beats the offside trap down the right hand side, gets the byline, pulls it back to Mikey Johnson, who nets. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 1. We've played 51 minutes.
Huddersfield nearly the points down at the bottom of the table. West Brom starting the day in 5th, 13 points behind Southampton. Connor's Leicester 82 points, lead 79, Ipswich 78 and Southampton 73. It's going to be some finish to the Championship season. We're going to have commentary on Conor Coady's Leicester as well next week in the FA Cup at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. 12:45 Chelsea against Leicester, but we've got Conor watching the game with us this afternoon, and it's been a bright start.
tell you what, in this period of the game, it's fascinating to see the way Tottenham play and the two full-backs coming inside. If you look at the position of Pedro Porro now, trying to run in behind, it's something you never ever see from full-backs. It's absolutely fascinating. It's great to see live.
Ball comes across then to Van der Ven. Young Dutchman finds Johnson. Johnson looks for Udogie. Udogie's first time cross with his left foot nearly finds Kulusevski running onto it to hit it first time at the far post. Didn't hit the shot. Chases the ball out to the right. Cross into the far post. Headed away to the edge of the box. McGinn stretches and wins a second header. And Tottenham looking dangerous coming forward. And here's Brennan Johnson heavily involved in the early stages as well. Johnson tricking infield onto his right foot. Kept away from the edge of the box. Sarr looking for the little straight ball through for the run of Porro. Tielemans clears for Villa up towards Watkins. Romero is in with a bit of a lunge but got his foot to the ball first. Udogie comes racing across in the right back position for Tottenham, and they start to play again just inside the Villa half. Bissouma, little 1-2 with Son. Then Bissouma comes jogging forward. Low pass to his left to Van der Ven. 10 minutes gone. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Full commentary of Liverpool-Manchester City kicks off at 3:45 at Anfield this afternoon. And we are 10 minutes into the first half at Villa Park, and this is Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Christian Romero at walking pace inside his own half. Son had made a run into the inside right channel. Romero ignores that. Plays forward to Bissouma. Bissouma lays it off to Van der Ven, and Van der Ven strokes it out to Johnson, who's dropped deep on the left. Udogie very happy to go beyond Brennan Johnson. Tottenham doing it on both sides, as Conor was just explaining. Maddison makes a dart through the middle. That run is not used. Kulusevski has it on the right. Tielemans. Ball comes off him. Watkins battling with Romero. Got a little handful of Watkins' shirt there. The Villa fans spotted that. Got it back to his goalkeeper, Vicario. And Tottenham able to play out. Conor Coady.
Watkins is such a handful, isn't he? He's such a handful. I think he just left one there on Romero as well, which is obviously a foul, but he chases absolutely everything. And then when a team is playing a back five and you do need to get out, he's such a lethal player to have when he's running into them channels.
So Christian Romero slowly recovering. I think Ollie Watkins, having taken a couple of knocks himself, saw the chance to put one on Romero there and did so. Fair challenge. Well, free kick, not a fair challenge, but a physical challenge from the centre forward, and knew he wasn't going to get a yellow card for it. Just letting the centre back know he was there. It's going to be a good battle, that one. Those two Tottenham centre backs trying to look after Bailey and Watkins. At the moment, Tottenham have the ball with Van der Ven. Bobbly pass forward to Son. Son running to his left, lays it off to Johnson. Brilliant skills from Johnson to get away from McGinn. Cutting a swathe across the Villa half. Passes it low here to Pap Sarr. Sarr to Kulusevski on the right. Uses Porro. The Swede receives the ball again. Left-footed pass. Comes back to the halfway line to Romero. Across to Van der Ven. And Van der Ven sweeps it quickly to Udogie. Tottenham moving the ball at speed, and Johnson looks in real form. Looking for that pass through to Sarr. Slightly overhits that, and it comes into the arms of Emi Martinez.
The movement of Tottenham, Ali, is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? It's something where people are constantly on the move, whether it's a ball in behind, whether it's a running behind, and then somebody coming to feet. They work in pairs where one player will run in behind, the next one will come to feet. They've started really, really well.
Martinez, long clearance downfield. Watkins chasing. Porro is there for Tottenham. Side foots it carefully back to his goalkeeper Vicario. Plays it past the outstretched boot of Watkins. Porro again plays the ball across the face of his own penalty area. Safely though to Van der Ven in the left back position, who knocks one down the touchline to Udogie, into the feet of Maddison inside his own half. Back to Bissouma. Bissouma assesses his options, thinks about trying to thread one in between the claret and blue Villa shirts, decides against that, and Maddison deep again, puts a bit of pace on that pass back to Romero. Romero encouraged to bring it forward, on to Porro. Porro sees the run of Sarr, passes over hit again, and Martinez is out quickly off his line. Nedham was talking about that, Conor, in the build-up, wasn't he, in terms of defending with the high line, but the keeper's also being way up the pitch to help you.
Oh, it's huge, Ali, it's huge, and there's a lot of trust in the keeper to be there when you're high, because obviously you can't see what's behind you, so you need to trust your keeper to be there. But I just think the way Spurs are controlling the game at the minute, the way they're in control of everything they're doing, I think it'll be something where Unai Emery will want to gain control somehow, but Tottenham started very well.
Douglas Luiz, side-footed pass, forces Pau Torres to scramble across the dead ball line for Villa. That is a brilliant cheeky pass through the legs of Kulusevski. Down the left to Torres from Longley. Torres plays the 1-2 with Tielemans. Torres almost caught in possession there as he tried to hit the longer diagonal. Ball runs to Conor. Conor across to Cash. Cash looking to get Bailey away down the right. Is Bailey going to keep that in? Well, the ball stays in play, but Van de Ven has the speed, of course, to get there first. Holds off Bailey. Oh, and then it's given away to Watkins by Bissouma. That was careless. Watkins to Tielemans. Left-footed drive. Good block by Porro. Ball still inside the Tottenham area. Watkins lays it back to Douglas Luiz. Good run made by Cash at the far post. Couldn't reach the pass, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Villa 0, Tottenham 0.
Fantastic ball from Douglas Luiz there, just coming back to him, just setting himself on the edge of the box to play over the top, just a little bit too heavy for Matty Cash. That was a little bit better from Aston Villa. It was funny over the far side. It was like Bailey just give up a little bit with Van de Ven, weren't it?
Van de Ven with the ball at his feet, out to Udogie. So Tottenham have got the 2 first-choice full-backs and 2 first-choice centre-backs all back in action this afternoon. Porro on the right, Udogie on the left, Van de Ven and Romero as the centre-back pairing. This is Romero. Up towards Sarr. Sarr back to Romero. Kulusevski starts to make a run. Romero keeps it for now, holds off Watkins, can't find Porro. Douglas Luiz turns and plays it to Bailey. Bailey's just caught by Van de Ven, who's hungry to win that ball early. Just caught Bailey on the foot, and that'll be a free kick for Aston Villa. Villa 2-1 winners at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium back in November, and under Unai Emery have won the last 3 games against Tottenham, and he's turned that form around a little bit. Historically, Villa haven't been great against Tottenham in the Premier League, so prior to the last 3 wins, just 2 wins in 21. But under Unai Emery, they seem to have the measure of Tottenham in recent times. This one 0-0 at the moment. Conor Coady watching with us at Villa Park, and Pat Nevin will be alongside John Murray at Anfield this afternoon for full commentary of Liverpool Manchester City. Matty Cash getting booed by the Tottenham fans. I think that goes back to the game at Tottenham, the one I was talking about, where Villa won 2-1, and I'm trying to remember why. The ball played down the left by Torres, headed forward by Porro. Sarr loses it on the halfway line. Here's Bailey for Villa. Cash bombing on, but the pass is behind him and goes straight out for a throw-in to Tottenham. Conor Coady.
Aston Villa getting a little bit of joy from mistakes at the minute, just Tottenham mistakes. The game's settled down a little bit in the last 5 or 10 minutes, where teams are just starting to have a little bit more possession. But yeah, Aston Villa grown into it in the last couple of minutes.
Huddersfield 1, West Brom 1 in the Championship. Bristol City and Swansea still goalless. Here's Romero. Romero's pass across to Van de Ven. Ball just over the halfway line. Johnson can go left. All right, this time he goes left and goes screaming past Cash. Cash back at him, catches him. That'll be a free kick for Tottenham. I think the first 3 times Brennan Johnson has got on the ball up against Cash, McGinn, whoever, he's beaten his man every single time. Another goal at Huddersfield, Tom Gale.
Where the visitors have come from behind, Ali. Huddersfield 1, West Bromwich Albion 2. It's a scrappy one. The corner isn't cleared, and inside the 6-yard box, the captain, Cal Bartley, pokes home. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 1. We've played an hour.
So, free kick for Tottenham on the left. West Brom now 2-1 up away to Huddersfield. Villa 0, Tottenham 0 here at Villa Park, and Villa have to defend the set piece. It's Porro who's gone over to take it. Maddison lurking on the edge of the box for Tottenham, as is Son. Pedro Porro pauses, waits for the referee's whistle. Now runs at the ball, curls it in with his right foot. Good delivery, headed up in the air by Longley. Sarr nods it to his left. Villa might be able to come away on the counter. They've got a man down at the moment, but they're happy to keep playing. Douglas Luiz running onto it, outside of his right foot. Flag stays down. Watkins is through, one-on-one. Must score. Side foots it to try and pass it to Bailey. It's intercepted, not behind for the corner. And that is an absolute waste of a chance from Aston Villa. But the offside flag in the end did go up. So I guess Ollie Watkins is feeling a slightly relieved man.
I'll tell you what, Ali, he's got away with one there, but that's the space in behind for Aston Villa. That's the space they want to be playing into, and listen, it was a great chance. We know it was offside, and it was, but I think he's just got away with one there.
Tottenham passed the ball straight out of play. Villa fans love that. Luca Dean takes a quick throw. Tielemans lets it run. Caught on the heels by Pap Sarr. Free kick Aston Villa. Sarr will get booked, and the free kick just over 20 yards out from goal in the inside left channel. This game is livening up. 19 minutes played, Villa 0, Tottenham 0.
tell you what, Ali, if they get the timing right, Aston Villa, the space is there. With the pace that they've got going forward, the space is there for the passes from Douglas Luiz and John McGinn. Just a little bit of timing off of that chance from Ollie Watkins, and listen, you'd expect that to be a goal if he wasn't offside, but yeah, they've just grown into it these last couple of minutes, and it's a good spell for them.
I'm amazed he didn't shoot there, Conor, because he didn't know. I mean, maybe he had a feeling deep down the flag might go up, but I'm amazed he didn't shoot.
I know what you mean, but I played with him for England, Ollie, and he's someone he's not a selfish player. If he sees someone there, he will give it, and I've known that from being with him at England, and he's a fantastic forward, but he also knows what the right option is, and let's be honest, if he's going through on goal, I think that's the right option, to pass it to your mate and score.
Free kick, Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Villa starting the day 5 points above Tottenham in the race for the top four. Douglas Luiz runs over the ball. John McGinn, left-footed delivery, far post. Vicario, flying punch. Good double-fisted effort away to Brennan Johnson. Not the best first touch from him as he tried to run the ball out of his own half. Ball just comes straight off his right boot and goes out for a throw-in to Villa on the right. So Tottenham fans continue to give Matty Cash plenty. He's right in front of them now because the away fans here are put in that section of the Doug Ellis stand, which is opposite us. It runs alongside one of the touchlines here at Villa Park. That is the end. Villa are attacking away to our left in the first half, and Matty Cash is just holding on to the ball at the moment, and the abuse continues to rain down on him. Might be a longer throw here from Cash. It's gone right back to the advertising hoardings. Plenty of room to have a run here at Villa Park. Launches it into the box. Sarr leaps to win the header for Tottenham. Luiz plays back to Longley. Good pass from Longley out to Cash. Challenge comes in from Brennan Johnson, and that'll be another throw for Aston Villa.
Getting a bit of stick, Ali, isn't he?
Little bit.
I tell you what, footballers quite enjoy it though. I can imagine he stood there now quite enjoying it, but it's a good bit of pressure from Aston Villa. They're sustaining it, they're staying on top, and listen, they've come into it in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Throw back towards the halfway line. Pass played across to Pau Torres. Torres goes to his goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, and James Maddison has run all the way upfield to put the pressure on. Martinez, longer ball over the top, looking for Cash. Brilliant stretching clearance from Porro on the volley, but Villa immediately return it back into the Tottenham half. Little Leon Bailey with the socks rolled down on the right. Back to McGinn. Nice ball from McGinn to Cash. His cross is blocked by Van der Ven. It goes out for another Villa throw. Attacking position on the right.
That's where they're getting the joy a little bit. Aston Villa down them little channels, down the sides, and that was a great little pass through to Cash, and they're getting little opportunities there. If they can get the ball into Ollie Watkins and get bodies in the box, there's chances there for Aston Villa.
Tottenham fans having a bit of fun with Matty Cash. Matty Cash isn't bothered. The ball disappeared underneath his Villa shirt for a second, wiping all the moisture off it, looking to get the best grip he possibly can to sling another one into the Tottenham box. In it comes Bissouma with the header away. Bailey hits a shot from the edge of the box, deflected. Luca Dean is there. Not seen him on the ball too much for Villa in the first 20 minutes. Pau Torres, long lofted diagonal, controlled by Cash. Plays it back to McGinn. McGinn with his right foot. Another cross blocked, and Aston Villa get themselves a corner. Villa 0, Tottenham 0.
Good play from Aston Villa. They're suffocating Tottenham a little bit with the wing backs. Luca Dean picking the ball up out wide here and dropping it off to Torres, who then switches the play again. I think it's a big factor in why they're playing wing back today, and it's a great little bit of pressure for Aston Villa. Midway through the first half, Leicester's Conor Coady with us on 5 Live Sport this afternoon, always available on BBC Sounds. Liverpool, Manchester City in full on the way. Kicks off at 3:45. 6:06 tonight as ever. Chris Sutton, the birthday boy, and Robbie Savage taking the calls from 6 through until 8 o'clock this evening. Corner for Villa. Bailey takes it, whipped into the near post. Good header away by Van der Ven. Udogie then knocks it into the legs of Tielemans, and it comes off Tielemans' knee, and it goes out for a throw-in to Tottenham in their right-back position. It was a fantastic header from Van der Ven, innit? I enjoy good defending. I do, Ali. It's a fantastic header. It's a great ball in, whipped in, but to get himself up and out there, it was a fantastic bit of defending. Throw-in for Tottenham in the right-back position. Porro taking his time. In his golden boots, white ball held above his head. Skips forward to the touchline, throws it. Sarr flicks it on. Villa complained that Dean was pushed as he won a header. Tielemans clever with his knee, nudges it to Douglas Luiz. Little pass from him, finds Bailey, turns in a central position 25 yards out. Udogie slides in and intercepts the pass, rolls out to Konza.
inside the Tottenham half. McGinn takes it off him. Good ball from McGinn, wide to Dean. Great first touch. Cross comes in, too close to Vicario. Easy catch for the keeper. Another goal at Huddersfield, Tom Gale.
What a 20 minutes for the visitors, Ali. Trailing 1-0 at half-time. It's now Huddersfield 1, West Bromwich Albion 3. Pick of the bunch from Yokoshli, 25 yards out. An absolute rocket, no stopping that. We played 66 minutes. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 3.
Am I right in saying, Conor, you said in the car park to me on the way in, have you still got to play West Brom this season?
Yes, we have, yeah.
That'll be a challenge. That'll be a tough one. Going well at the moment, West Brom, trying to secure their place in the playoff spots at the moment, starting the day in 5th, now leading by 3-1. If they win it, they will move 5 points above Norwich, who moved above Hull yesterday. It's at both ends of that table, Conor. I mean, great for us to watch. I don't know what it's like for you to play in.
Oh, but both ends, it's tight. It's tight at both ends. But even the playoff places now, I think there's a few teams now going for that, and it's a fantastic league, but something we want to try and do as well as we can in the next few weeks.
Oh yes, Leicester sitting on top of the pile still at the moment. Brennan Johnson has won Tottenham a throw. On the left, midway inside the Villa half. The rain has now stopped. I think it has. Coady's still got his hood up though. Down away to our right on the touchline. James Maddison is having a bit of push and shove with Douglas Luiz. Luiz barges in with his body. Maddison turns and barges him back like a couple of rutting stags here, and the teammates step in just to separate the two players. Just started off the ball. Maddison was trying to manoeuvre into space to get in position to receive from the throw, and then...
It's funny, Ali, when you're playing a game, that's the biggest thing in the world, like when you're playing a game. When we're sat here, we're looking at it thinking it's absolutely nothing, is it? It's something weird, but yeah, just a little bit of fisticuffs there between Maddison and Luiz.
Throw in then for Tottenham will be taken by Udogie. Son speeds into a pocket of space, looks for Maddison. The Villa fans cheer because Maddison miscontrols, but the ball runs to Udogie. Low ball to Porro. 25 yards out in a central position, goes wide right to Kulusevski. Little dink cross into the box. Martinez quickly off his line, catches it, immediately bowls it out to Tielemans. Kulusevski saw the danger, steps in, he's fouled Tielemans, but he has broken up the momentum of the attack.
Brilliant play from Kulusevski, that. Really, really good. I think we're getting the feeling of the game where Aston Villa are trying to counter when they can with the pace that they've got, but even now looking at Tottenham's high line and the ball going in behind.
Yeah, ball in behind to find Ollie Watkins. Again, the flag stays down, miscontrol from Watkins. Porro's quick too. Porro caught up with him, and I think just sort of distracted Watkins slightly, and eventually the ball runs away for the goal kick to Tottenham.
I think this game's showing kind of how good the coaches are. You know, I think we're looking at it and two real organised teams doing what they get coached every single week. Even Aston Villa playing with a 5 at the back, they're organised, they're compact in that 5-3-2.
Tottenham giving their fans kittens, playing out inside their own penalty area. Done it brilliantly. Maddison sweeps it towards Son. Little pass from him forward to Kulusevski. Villa fans shouting for offside. Kulusevski's tackled inside the Villa penalty area, and then the delayed offside flag goes up, so the Villa fans were right.
Yeah, and listen, we see that every week now with linesmen, don't we? Offside, just delaying the offside call a little bit. I think it was, but it's a fascinating game. It's everything we spoke about before the game in terms of two top teams, two top coaches coaching their team, and listen, it's been a good start to it.
Yeah, both teams desperate for Champions League football next season. Aston Villa, of course, winners of the European Cup famously back in 1982. So their last season of football in that competition was the following season as the defending champions. Made it through to the quarter-finals 82-83 and lost to Juventus. I was explaining to Conor, I dived down a little rabbit hole sort of exploring that run in the European Cup that season. They lost 5-2 on aggregate to Juventus in those quarter-finals. Juventus' goal scorers across the tie: Paolo Rossi, the Polish international Boniek, Michel Platini, I think, got a couple, and Marco Tardelli. I mean, that is a who's who of the 82 World Cup. And Juventus didn't even win the competition that season. They lost to Hamburg in the final. But Villa Park would love to have Champions League football here next season. Tottenham desperate to have it at their stadium as well. Kulusevski, loose ball, has given it to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey inside the Tottenham half, looking for the run of Watkins, intercepted by Van de Ven. Van de Ven plays it to Udogie. Approaching the half-hour mark here. Still Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Maddison outside of his right foot, nearly found Son at full speed, tried to take the ball on the move and couldn't quite control it.
Tell you what, the move from Aston Villa there, I think we've seen a few times this game now, the way they're trying to counter that. If Bailey could have just got his head up a little bit, he could have looked at Tielemans down the left.
Douglas Luiz, scoop pass, clever ball in behind Tottenham. Watkins is able to control it. Edge of the Tottenham penalty area, white shirts all around him. Holds on to it though, finds Cash. Cash slides it down the right for Bailey. Bailey with the cut back into the Tottenham area. Ball's pinging around, just misses the left-hand post. Matty Cash with the last touch, who continued his forward run. Villa want a corner, but it's given as a goal kick. But that ball that time was just a very simple sort of scooped high ball to get Watkins in behind that Tottenham defence again, Conor.
100%, Ali, and I think that's what playing a high line can give the opposition team. It can give them that pass, it can give them just to flip it in behind. But again, I think we see why Aston Villa are playing wing backs.
Son, first time ball with his left foot, miscued. Was trying to release Brennan Johnson on the left. Villa intercept and have the ball again inside their own half. Not short of entertainment, no goals as yet. Luca Dean plays back to Pau Torres, who's got the black tape on his right thigh. You can just see poking out from underneath his white shorts. Villa in the claret and blue. Goalkeeper Emi Martinez all in black. He's got the ball, edge of the box, looking for Watkins. Watkins stopped there, didn't challenge for that ball. Romero plays it straight forward to Son. Son's got the run of Brennan Johnson. The pass deflected nearly into the path of Kulusevski. Douglas Luiz is there to sort it out for Villa. Ball out to the left to Dean. Luiz again, very happy to take that ball under pressure just outside his own box. Passes back to Martinez, across to Konza. Konza looks up, sees Matty Cash in space inside his own half. Cash running from right to left, got to be a bit careful there. Plays back to his goalkeeper Martinez again. He's closed down by Son. Across the dead ball line it goes. Konza, clearance half blocked by Johnson. The ball comes back to Konza. Johnson still nibbling at his heels, breathing down his neck. Konza's holding him off. Villa are just caught here and can't get out. Johnson makes the challenge and eventually it goes out for a Villa throw.
Yeah, it's been a trait in this game, Ali, hasn't it, where Tottenham on the front foot in a high press, the whole team in Aston Villa's half, and making it tough for Aston Villa to get out. But I think we've seen in the last 5 minutes or so just why Aston Villa are playing this way. They're using the wing backs an awful lot. They're trying to switch the ball and trying to get in behind on the counter attack whenever they can.
Huddersfield 1, West Brom 3 in the Championship. Goalless between Bristol City and Swansea, and the ball has run off James Maddison's foot and gone behind for an Aston Villa goal kick. Every time I give the Huddersfield West Brom score, it changes. Tom Gale.
Some home fans have seen enough, Ali. Huddersfield 1, West Bromwich Albion 4. It's another one for the Celtic loanee Mikey Johnson, wide left of the box, beats his man, drills it into the opposite bottom corner. We still got over a quarter of an hour of normal time remaining. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 4.
Women's FA Cup quarter-finals this weekend as well. Half an hour in, Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Tottenham Manchester City kicks off at 3. Scottish Cup quarter-finals this afternoon as well. We'll have updates for you on Celtic, Livingston. Hibs play Rangers at 5:30. Throw in from Luca Dean, fired down the left to Watkins, couldn't keep it in play. That'll be a throw for Tottenham on the right. Skies continue to brighten. Postecoglou still has the hood up. He's now turned. That's definitely Ange Postecoglou now. I can see him. I can see the gruff grey beard, hands dug deep in pockets, watching his Tottenham team here as Son comes running towards Porro. Porro plays through the legs of Tielemans to Sarr. Sarr plays little 1-2 with Porro, then he's caught from behind, and that'll be a free kick to Tottenham.
What's brilliant about these two teams, Ali, is looking, and sometimes when you come into a game of this stature and how big this game is, some teams are a little bit tentative. They don't really want to go for it, especially Aston Villa, who are kind of in the driving seat a little bit at the minute in terms of points and being in front of Tottenham. But both teams going for it. Aston Villa trying to counter-attack, trying to soak up pressure and counter-attacking behind, and Tottenham trying to control the game as well. Yeah,
in terms of the points tallies at the moment, the draw would suit Aston Villa slightly the better because Tottenham have got the ground to make up. Tottenham do have the game in hand. That is away at Chelsea at some point. Here's Van der Ven playing the ball back to the edge of the penalty area, but Villa obviously at home and have been so good at home this season. They will come in with nothing else on their minds other than trying to win this game and stretch their lead over Tottenham to 8 points. Manchester United with their win against Everton yesterday, 3 points further behind Tottenham. Son wide on the left, wriggles out of a tight spot, knocks the ball down the line, has to chase that himself, has the pace to get past Konza. Is he fouled by Konza, edge of the box? James Maddison thought he was, but the referee Chris Kavanagh, right up with play, shook his head, and Villa clear the ball to the halfway line. Tottenham recycle. Sarr is able to turn. Udoghi's in space for him on the left. Udogi lays it off to Johnson. Johnson onto his right foot, back to Maddison. Maddison's cross comes in outside of his right boot, headed away by Torres. Second clearance from Dean. Watkins chases. Anything hit downfield in behind those Tottenham defenders, and Watkins goes hurtling after it. This will be a good race. Van der Ven on the ball against Watkins. Now Villa have won it on the halfway line. Danger for Tottenham here. Cash works it to Bailey. Watkins has got a lot of work to do to catch up. Oh, that was a risky challenge from Bissouma just inside the penalty area. Chris Kavanagh again shakes his head, and Tottenham come away with the ball. That looks slightly clumsy.
It did, yeah, it really did. At first thought, I thought it was a penalty just with the direction of the ball and where the ball went, but obviously Chris Kavanagh waving it away. But again, good play from Aston Villa, soaking up pressure. I don't actually believe we never give Conor a little bit of credit for the defending there, Ali.
When he was trapped,
because Son's a real tough player when he's running behind like that. But yeah, a little bit of clumsy defending there.
Kulusevski on the ball for Tottenham just inside his own half. Chip ball from Bissouma. This is Kulusevski who's made the run. Bit of space to work with for the Tottenham man as well. Luka Dean comes across to try and close it down. Cross in. Headed away by Longley. The ball bounces 25 yards from goal. Udogie's in there first. Heads it to his left. Villa looking for an offside flag. It doesn't come. Brennan Johnson facing up against Matty Cash. Tries to beat him on the outside. Drags it back onto the right foot. Then the left foot. Cross into the near post. Martinez looking to keep that in play. Can't do so. It'll be a corner for Tottenham. Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Big chance for Tottenham. James Maddison taking corners. They always are big chances. He brings quality. He's a fantastic footballer. But again, it's just two teams with two different styles of play trying to win a game of football. I think it's been a great start to the game.
Liverpool, Manchester City, full commentary on that later on. Kicks off at 3:45. Tottenham take the corner short. Maddison gets it back from Porro. Maddison hits a curling effort blocked by Watkins. Last touch comes off Maddison though, which is why you get a big roar from the Holt end, because that is going to be a goal kick for Aston Villa. Villa 0, Tottenham 0. And can see Unai Emery deep in conversation again with his set-piece coach after Villa have dealt with that one from a defensive point of view. Emi Martinez waiting to take the goal kick in front of the Holt end. Goes straight down the middle of the field, and Romero challenges Watkins. Watkins goes flying, looking for a free kick. What did you think of that, Conor?
He does that so well, Romero. We see him do it week after week. I've played in games when he does it to our strike. I actually think it's really good defending. He's getting his body in the way. He's using his body. I think people think sometimes when it comes to football, it should be a non-contact sport. He's using his body and he's defending really well. Listen, Watkins uses his body at times as well, and I just thought it was a great bit of defending, and Tottenham back on the ball. Chris
Kavanagh gets it right. Maddison on the halfway line, wide on the left, turns, plays back to Van der Ven. Across it comes to Romero. Romero trotting forward to the halfway line. Watkins hoves into view. Bissouma plays it back to Romero. He just ponders for a second and goes across to Van der Ven. Slightly scuffed pass, reaches Maddison though. Maddison, little disguise on that ball to find Bissouma. Bissouma out to Udogie on the left, midway inside the Villa half. Udogie picks up the pace, looking for the through ball to Son. That is cut out, might run to Maddison, but no, there's a foul from Udogie on Konza, and that'll be a free kick for Aston Villa.
I think Aston Villa are frustrating Tottenham a little bit, Ali. I think they look really organised in the shape. They're blocked in. There's not much space between the back five and Watkins and Bailey, so it's hard for Tottenham to play through the middle. And I don't know if they've planned on that, just to try and get bodies inside, because we see Porro go inside, we see Udogie go inside and try and control games that way. I just think Aston Villa are frustrating Tottenham a little bit.
Next up for Villa Thursday night, they'll be here. Second leg of the Europa League last 16 tie against Ajax. Game starts at 0-0. Konza sent off in the first leg, won't be able to play in that of course, and then they go to West Ham next week. Tottenham next week away at Fulham. Here's Van der Ven on the ball for Tottenham, plays across to Udogie. Closing stages of the first half. Back to Steve Crossman at Anfield at half time, building up to our second Premier League commentary of the afternoon, which is Liverpool against Manchester City. Arsenal top of the table, 64 points. Liverpool 63. Manchester City 62. Van der Ven nearly turns into trouble. Bailey's got the pressure on. Forward to Bissouma from the goalkeeper Vicario, and he lays it off to Romero. Into Maddison. McGinn comes flying in, and that's a foul on Maddison. McGinn saw the opportunity, slid in, got ball and man. Maddison takes the free kick quickly, clever one, curling in behind, looking for Brennan Johnson, chests it down. Cash is there, he's able to get a foot on the ball, stops Johnson for now. Johnson onto his right foot, run on the outside. Son had stopped for a second there, which gives Cash the get to the ball and flick it away for a throw into Tottenham.
Great thinking from James Maddison. I think it's the first time really we've seen his the way he can pass and the vision that he's got. It's a great ball in behind for Brennan Johnson, and there's some good defending from Matty Cash and good defending from the Villa backline.
Throw in from Udogie. That is the Leicester defender, England international Conor Coady with us at Villa Park. Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Romero, centre circle, straight pass to Bissouma, gives it straight back to the centre back. Forward to Sarr, into the Tottenham midfield, across to Bissouma, 10 yards inside the Villa half, to Sarr, back to Bissouma, wide it goes to Porro. Porro closed down by Tielemans, cross into the edge of the box, headed away by Konza. McGinn stretches, gets a left foot on the ball. That's Van de Ven against Bailey. Van de Ven wins it. Last touch comes off McGinn in the end, and it goes out for another throw to Tottenham on the left, which Brennan Johnson thinks about taking, then leaves it for Udogie. Udogie sees Maddison in that Tottenham midfield just pop up in a little pocket of space, throws it to him. Maddison lays it off to Romero. Romero just short of the halfway line, plays the ball across the halfway line to Bissouma, into the feet of Son and back to Van de Ven, and Tottenham work it out to the left to Johnson. Matty Cash immediately closes the space down, step over from Son, leaves it for Udogie. Udogie turns, finds Maddison, central position, 30 yards out. Maddison quickly on to Kulusevski on the right. Kulusevski can't beat Dean, sticks a left foot out, makes the tackle, throwing for Tottenham.
I think it's really good play from Aston Villa. They're letting the two centre-backs to Tottenham have the ball, and then as soon as the ball enters the mid-third and it goes into the midfield, there's always pressure on the ball from Aston Villa, whether it be from the outside centre-backs or the midfielders. I think they're playing really well. This is a formation we used at Wolves quite a lot, Ali, in terms of being patient and letting the ball come into areas where we can press. I think they're doing it really, really well.
Porro takes the throw, it bounces twice in front of Maddison. Maddison plays back to Romero, still inside the Villa half on the right. Bissouma jogs towards him. Maddison, clever little layoff to Bissouma, caught by Tielemans off the ball. Maddison sitting on his backside, complaining. No advantage there for Tottenham, so they do eventually get the free kick. Maddison again thinks about going quickly, and Son is in exactly the same wavelength. Watkins is in the way of this as Maddison looks to take it quickly again. Then he goes short, and Tottenham have it with Romero.
He was clever there, Watkins, when he was standing in front of the ball, so Maddison didn't take it quick, and just as he was about to take it, he just moved out the way so he didn't get himself a book, and it's clever play from Watkins.
Here's Bissouma for Tottenham. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Maddison gets away from Pau Torres, halfway line. Bissouma's under pressure here from Douglas Luiz, who's pushing and pulling and eventually knocks Bissouma over, and the free kick is given to Tottenham. Romero thinks about going quickly. Watkins is there, right in the way again. Romero looks up and eventually points to Sarr and wants him to move in between Bailey and Watkins, and then uses him as the decoy and plays across to Van de Ven. Van de Ven to Udogie inside the Tottenham half. Tottenham enjoying the majority of possession in the last 5 minutes or so. Ball is with Romero, walking pace. Watkins and Bailey just stand off him. Romero casually rolls his pass across to Van de Ven. He brings it forward 5 or 6 yards, still inside his own half. Low to Brennan Johnson. Pass hit into the body of Matty Cash. McGinn then gets a foot on the ball and knocks it back to his goalkeeper.
Again, Ali, that 5-3-2 for Aston Villa, just forcing them into areas where Aston Villa want them, and then winning the ball back. I think they're doing it really, really well. Like I said before, they're frustrating Tottenham, and just in this position here, just letting the centre-backs have the ball and just sitting in that mid-block waiting for the ball to go into areas where they can go and press it.
Brighton, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Burnley. Both games kick off at 2 o'clock in the Premier League this afternoon. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, commentary over on Sports Extra. West Ham, Burnley available as a commentary online via the BBC Sports website and app, and that's where the Six Nations commentary will start. Wales, France at 3 o'clock. It'll then move on to Sports Extra. Brennan Johnson moving at speed down the left, low cross comes in, easy for Emi Martinez to block at the near post and flop onto the ball and just slowly take control of the game for Villa. Ball in his right hand, starts to walk towards the edge of the penalty area, and Son Heung-min just backs off. Giant halt end behind Emi Martinez. AVFC, the white banner directly behind his goal. The obsession, it says there, as Martinez clears long with his right foot. Watkins backing into Romero. Wrestling match again, and Porro nods the ball back to Vicario. Vicario bowls it out. Ball goes skipping across the smooth playing surface. Udogie into Maddison. Maddison runs into a challenge of Douglas Luiz. He leaps, chests the ball down to McGinn. Udogie nips in for Tottenham, trying to take it off McGinn, gets his body in the way, wants a free kick as the Scottish international, and gets the decision from referee Chris Kavanagh.
Good play. He's so strong, John McGinn. When you play against him, and he gets his body in the way in between you and the ball, you very rarely can get to the ball, so you end up fouling him. He does that so well when it comes to breaking up the play.
I was just going to say, Conor, you'll have experienced it. He is one of the best at that very skill, isn't he?
And do you know what? He's done so well in his career, kind of doing what he's done at Aston Villa, how he's gone on to play in a team who are battling for the Champions League now, and what he's done over the years. And like you said, just playing against him, you realise how strong and how clever he is.
Oh, McGinn's got to be strong here against Bissouma. Brennan Johnson, though, manages to find Son. Johnson continues his run, bobbles across into the penalty area, still in the Villa box, no one there for Tottenham, and Villa will have a chance to clear. Douglas Luiz does that. Van der Ven stoops to win the header, though. Udogie to Bissouma. Tottenham sense an opportunity late in the first half. Son has drifted wide to the left here. Douglas Luiz in his way. Son stops, plays it back to Udogie. Comes across to Bissouma. Good 35 yards out in a central position, heading towards the closing minute of the first half. And Romero has given the ball away on the halfway line. Villa love that. Bailey feeds Watkins. Villa fans getting to their feet. Watkins, step over into the box, onto his right foot, hits the shot. Romero makes the block. It comes back to Watkins, though. Tottenham defenders in his way. Watkins twisting and turning. Clever little ball. Dinked into Dean. Dean inside the penalty area. Tackled by Bissouma. Aston Villa get themselves a corner.
Again, Ali, we've seen that a few times this half where Aston Villa are breaking really well on Tottenham. It's good play. You wanted Ollie Watkins just to shift it onto his left and put it across the keeper. He's tried to get back onto his favoured right foot, and it's been blocked in the end, and good defending by Tottenham. But again, it goes back to Aston Villa frustrating Tottenham and breaking on them when they can. Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Conor Coady with us on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. Both Conor and I looking forward to the commentary of Liverpool, Manchester City. 3:45 kick-off at Anfield this afternoon. John Murray and Pat Nevin with that one. Yuri Tielemans goes short with the corner to Leon Bailey, waiting to see how much added time there's going to be. McGinn, great ball, Dean's flicked header, across the face of goal, just wide. Goal kick for Tottenham, just 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Yeah, it's a great corner set piece. It's a great routine. It's something that obviously worked on to try and pull out the Tottenham defence and get into the edge of the box, and then flip the ball in behind her from John McGinn. It was a great ball and a really unlucky header from Luca Dean.
Premier League highlights tonight, match of the day 2, BBC 1 at 10:30, Six Nations rugby special, that'll be well worth a watch. Highlights BBC 2 at 6 o'clock. Son, first time ball, finds Sarr. Sarr looking for the run of Maddison through the middle. Sarr was caught there by Longley. Referee didn't see anything wrong with the challenge. Sarr's gone down. Villa will keep playing. Douglas Luiz looking for Bailey. Udogie intercepts. Tottenham are going to keep going as well. Udogie runs away from McGinn. Villa defenders chasing. Manages to find his teammate Brennan Johnson on the left. Closing seconds of the first half. Maddison gets it inside the box. Maddison has to turn away from goal. He's forced out of the penalty area. Plays back to Sarr. Sarr across to Porro. The minute of added time is just about up. Can Tottenham fashion a chance? No, they can't. Aston Villa keep them at bay. The half-time whistle blows. Ange Postecoglou eventually flips the hood down. He wants to check that Pape Sarr is okay, because he's still down in some pain on the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area. And at half-time, Conor Coady, no goals, but we've enjoyed the football.
No, it's been a great game of football. Been two different styles of play, two different teams, two top teams coming showing how they wanted to play, and I actually think Aston Villa will be happy. I think they're frustrated Tottenham a little bit. Tottenham have been in control, but when Aston Villa can break and counter in behind, they've had some real opportunities. So a real interesting game, and poised well for the second half.
Pape Sarr back on his feet, hobbling a bit as he makes his way the length of the Villa Park pitch and into the sanctuary of the dressing room. Half-time at Villa Park. Villa 0, Tottenham 0.
Ali, Conor, thank you both very much indeed. We'll be back for second half commentary. We are live here at Anfield on a foggy day, a big day in the Premier League title race. Full commentary of Liverpool versus Manchester City this afternoon at 3:45 once we're done at Villa Park. More to come shortly on the 2 o'clock kickoffs that you can listen to via 5 Sports Extra, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest, and the BBC Sport website, West Ham versus Burnley. They're both underway in less than 15 minutes time. Still Bristol City 0, Swansea 0 in the Championship, and Huddersfield 1, West Brom 4, full time not far away at all. We'll tell you about all of that as the whistles go up and down the land, and we'll have our first proper look ahead to this big one on Merseyside too. We'll do it all after the news with Stuart Clarkson.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Steve, thank you. Good afternoon. Hopes are fading for a ceasefire deal in Gaza to be agreed ahead of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. A goal had been set for a pause in hostilities to be in place by the start of the festival. Security has been tightened in Jerusalem's Old City, with tens of thousands of worshippers expected to attend the Al-Aqsa Mosque later. Several hundred protesters in Amsterdam are demonstrating against Israel's actions in Gaza as the Israeli president attends the opening of a Holocaust museum in the city. The Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves has played down hopes for a rapid improvement in public services if Labour wins the next election. She told the BBC there'd be an initial injection of cash, but warned the party would not be able to turn things round straight away. King Charles has awarded his brother, the Duke of Edinburgh, Scotland's highest royal honour, the Order of the Thistle. The appointment comes into effect as Prince Edward celebrates his 60th birthday today. And Oppenheimer leads the nominations for tonight's Oscars with a total of 13. Barbie has 8 nominations. Jimmy Kimmel is hosting the awards show in LA, which starts at midnight tonight UK time.
BBC 5 Live.
Every morning, Rick and I wake up with you on 5 Live Breakfast.
Good morning.
Hello.
The latest news.
Let's start then by talking about the government. Updates from the world of sport.
We got Alan with us now. Morning.
Good morning. Alan's live on the BBC.
And of course, we hear from you with In My Opinion.
I've just done the first long-haul flight of the season and people were taking their shoes and socks off. What is that about?
All that and a whole lot more.
5 Live Breakfast with Rachel Burden and Rick Edwards.
Yeah, pretty much sums us up.
Listen weekdays from 6
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
And it's Aston Villa 0, Tottenham 0 in the Premier League. Second half commentary on the way. Burnley dropped to the foot of the Premier League following Sheffield United's draw at Bournemouth yesterday. Today they're at West Ham, pushing for another season in Europe. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, and West Ham, they've refound their mojo in the Premier League. Steve, 7 goals and 2 wins on the bounce has steadied a rocky patch that was starting to see the supporters become very restless around the London Stadium. David Moyes makes 4 changes from Thursday night with Calvin Phillips back from suspension. And Burnley, they're rock bottom. 3 wins all season. And with 11 games to go, they're 11 points from safety. It's very, very straightforward for them. They need points and they need them today.
Commentary of that game on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds when it kicks off in 10 minutes time. On the BBC Sport website and app in 10 minutes time. Full commentary from the Amex. Nottingham Forest can go 6 points clear of the relegation zone, but to do that they'd have to beat Brighton. Chris Temple.
Yes, and Forest's record of just 3 wins in their 32 away games since returning to the Premier League won't exactly have their relegation rivals quaking today. Their hopes, though, are undoubtedly boosted by the return of top scorer Chris Wood back to face a club he played for 13 years ago. Brighton themselves were bruised by their midweek trip to Rome. A 4-0 defeat in Roberto De Zerbi's native Italy will certainly have hurt him. He changes 7 of that team, with Dunk, Van Hecke, Gross and Adingra those retained, as Albion aim to arrest a run of 3 straight losses.
Lots going on in the Premier League today. Lots going on in various cup competitions up and down the UK as well. Scottish Cup quarter-final weekend. Aberdeen went through yesterday. And then just a few minutes afterwards, Neil Warnock stepped down as interim manager. Today, the holders Celtic are at home to Livingston. Kenny Crawford.
Good afternoon, Steve. Yes, this is the first of 2 ties back-to-back this afternoon, with Hibs versus Rangers following us at 5:30. But before that, for Celtic, on paper, you'd expect it to be a reasonably straightforward test for Brendan Rodgers' men against bottom of the Premiership Livingston. However, Celtic have stuttered a bit of late and are without both captain Callum McGregor in midfield and Cameron Carter-Vickers at the back, so it might not be plain sailing. Defender Stephen Welsh and forward Nicholas Kuhn come into the starting lineup for the hosts. As for Livy, 39-year-old Northern Ireland international Michael McGovern starts in goals in one of 5 changes for the visitors. Livingston visiting Celtic kicks off at 2:30.
The other 2 ties, by the way, Rangers away to Hibs at 5:30. Greenock Morton of the Championship, the only non-Premiership side left in the competition. They play Hearts tomorrow. It's half-time in the FA Cup quarter-final in the Women's FA Cup between Everton and Chelsea. That one is 0-0. The remaining quarter-final tie at Tottenham, who can make history by getting to their first semi-final, but they'd have to beat Manchester City. Becky Ives.
And that is a big ask. But in Robert Villaham's first season in charge, he's picked up a Spurs side that were in a league relegation battle at the end of last season. He's progressed them to 6th in the table and now potentially just 2 games away from a final at Wembley. But as you've mentioned, they're not going to be easy against City. Spurs haven't beaten City in any competition since 2021. And Gareth Taylor's side arrive here a little bruised from their Conti Cup exit midweek to Chelsea. That ended a 12-game winning streak. So most likely looking for a little redemption. Still waiting for team news here as kickoff is at 3 p.m.
Leicester City shot Liverpool yesterday, though, didn't they? Stranger things have happened. Manchester United already through to the last four. The draw for the semi-finals, by the way, is on 5 Live Breakfast with Rick and Rachel on Tuesday morning. In the Six Nations, Italy's win over Scotland means Wales are bottom of the table going into today's game with France, who can still technically win it. Claire Thomas is at the Principality.
I am indeed, and after 2 fixtures yesterday which will go down as all-time greats and which gave the snow globe of the standings a proper shake, the question is, just what can this place serve up? Warren Gatland has made it quite clear that this campaign is about building for the future, whilst the lacklustre France look rocked by the past, still reeling from that heartbreaking World Cup exit. Our youthful hosts are the only winless team remaining, and if they don't change that today, whispers of a wooden spoon might just start rippling around the Principality. Wales versus Les Bleus, the fresh-faced versus the battle-scarred. This one is finally poised.
Thank you very much, Claire. Claire Thomas at the Principality. Kick-off at 3 o'clock. Commentary on the BBC Sport website and app, and then that will move to 5 Sports Extra after the West Ham Burnley game has finished in the Premier League. Here at Anfield, we're getting ready for Liverpool versus Manchester City. 3:45 kick-off. We'll talk more about this game after we've got the full time from Huddersfield in the Championship. Tom Gay.
Huddersfield 1, West Bromwich Albion 4. Steve, West Brom come from behind to win for the first time this season and strengthen their playoff aspirations. Second half goals including 2 for Celtic loanee Mikey Johnston, along with Kyle Bartley tap-in and a rocket from Yakozlu, sees them move 5 points clear of 7th placed Hull. Some boos on the full-time whistle as it's back-to-back defeats for Huddersfield. They remain in the bottom 3, a point from safety. A huge derby game for them away at rock bottom Rotherham next Saturday. Full time, Huddersfield 1, West Brom 4.
Thank you, Tom. Second half commentary on the way in the next 5 minutes or so. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham 0 in the Premier League. Then those other games getting underway at 2 o'clock. Remember, West Ham Burnley via the BBC Sport website and at Brighton versus Nottingham Forest on 5 Sports Extra. Here at Anfield then, Liverpool versus Manchester City. 3:45 kick-off. It is the big one. It's the game that everybody wants to be at. And nothing tells me that more than when I looked to my left-hand side about 20 seconds ago, correspondent John Murray was taking a selfie.
Yeah, I was taking that descent for Mother's Day actually. So there you are.
Most of us sent cards.
There's a gathering. Well, there's actually a gathering going on now down in East Anglia. So that's why I did it. Don't worry, I don't make a habit of it.
No, I thought probably not.
As probably most will be aware. It does feel strange, doesn't it? I mean, it is very much the thing to talk about this match as a title decider, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yet we're sitting here. It's cold. It's another cold afternoon. I walked up through Stanley Park. The daffodils are barely out. They're just trying to come through. And of course, most importantly, neither of them are actually at the top of the table now. It's Arsenal at the top of the table, and these two on their heels. Therefore, even though it is a massive game, it's a mighty match. You know, this is what we're used to now. This is the modern confrontation, isn't it? This is the biggest deal in the Premier League right now because of the fact that these are the clubs that have won the league in each of the last 6 seasons. So that's why it's got all of the attention. I think all of the media places here are taken today. It's the maximum number of foreign TV crews that are here, and they're here because of the game that it is.
I would normally do a nice walk in Liverpool from Lime Street Station all the way up to here at Anfield, which takes quite a long time. Bit of a rush today, so I jumped in a taxi. Taxi driver, big Liverpool fan, said to me as soon as I sat down, "Are you going to the game?" I said yes. He said, "I would snap your hand off right now for a draw."
Interesting, yeah. And I think part of that is because of the number of players that Liverpool have got unavailable for this match, and you know, the rumours are swirling around. We'll have the team news shortly. There's a few interesting rumours that we'll have confirmation of what's going to happen when that team news comes out. But I guess round here, you know what Merseyside's like. Everybody is aware of that. And whereas Manchester City, okay, Grealish is not involved. Doku might not be involved today. We'll see. But other than that, you know, they're strong. They're in form. But Liverpool are in form as well, despite all of the players who are not available.
There's so many subplots though, and if it wasn't for the fact that this is such a big game at the top of the league, but obviously it is, and it would always be over the course of most of the recent seasons, we'd be focusing almost solely on the fact that it's the last time we will see Pep Guardiola versus Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah. We may well see them, I don't know, international football or in another country, but yeah, this will be it, because Jurgen Klopp obviously has said that he will not work for another Premier League club in this country. So yeah. The other thing really I think of is, and we talked about it the other night when Mark Chapman asked the very pertinent question, why do Manchester City have such a bad record here? And they've only won once under Jurgen Klopp, under Pep Guardiola. So Pep Guardiola has only come here and won one match out of 8.
And there were no fans.
And there were no fans. So there's a lot of talk about how it's different when there are fans inside Anfield. And of course, this brilliant home record that they've got, not lost a match here for nearly a year. They win most of them. But, you know, if there's any team that can come and win here, you would have to say it is Manchester City.
There's so much individual brilliance, whatever the team lineups are, and you're right, obviously Liverpool have had more injury issues, more injury concerns than Manchester City of late. So many key battles, so much to get excited about. It's quite difficult to know where to start, to be completely honest with you, but I thought I might mention Phil Foden and Mohamed Salah, for the simple reason that Salah obviously is back fit again, and we saw a bit of him in Europe in midweek, and Pep Guardiola, after the Manchester derby that we were both at, said he's the best in the Premier League.
Yep, Salah, who has scored some brilliant goals. He's got an excellent goal scoring record against Manchester City, 11 goals in 19 appearances, scored one of the best goals I've seen scored here against Manchester City a couple of years back. We'll have to see whether he's going to be fit enough to be in the starting lineup shortly. And for Phil Foden, I thought that was an interesting one after the Manchester derby, that Pep Guardiola offers that up. Not once. It wasn't a slipped, you know, something he let slip. That was repeated over again, and I think that was a great piece of management there, in that he said effectively to the rest of the squad, I think Phil Foden's the best player. So he's therefore challenging the rest of his team, all of his top players, many of whom will probably think to themselves, actually I'm the best player in the Premier League right now, to prove it and to do better than Foden's doing.
Lots of very, very clever ways from these two very successful managers just to put extra hunger, extra motivation into their players, both going for the Premier League title, both got all kinds of different reasons to want it more now than ever before, and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about all of the key battles. We'll hear from the managers. We'll discuss all of it here from Anfield in great detail once we are done at Villa Park, because we've got a big second half in the Premier League to come before that. Villa 0, Spurs 0. Conor Coady's with Ali Bruce Ball.
Thank you, Steve. Just watching the Tottenham players gathering in the tunnel. We saw the Romanian centre-back Radu Dragusin going through quite an extensive warm-up during half-time. The 22-year-old signed from Genoa in January. Christian Romero has definitely come back out for Tottenham. I'm just waiting to see if Mickey van der Ven reappears as well. He does. So, Conor, is that about, you know, possibly one of the two centre-backs seeing how they go first 5-10 minutes of the second half, do you think, or...?
100%, because for me, as a manager, I don't think you'd want to be taking off your two centre-backs at any point. So I think it's maybe someone's gone in at half-time and said they've got a little bit of a knock or a little bit of a niggle, and just keep Dragusin ready. But, like I said, I wouldn't want to be taking off them two centre-backs with the form they've been showing this season.
So Tottenham and Aston Villa's players are both back out. I'm holding a cup of tea here in the left hand, microphone in the right hand, and eventually our engineer Chris has spotted me with a sugar cube neatly balanced on the lid and the stirrer poking through the little hole in the top of the lid. So Chris has got a nice warm cup of tea to keep him going in the second half, and we're looking forward to the second half of Villa Tottenham here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 0-0. Conor, just going back over the first half, for all the good football we saw and the threat posed by both teams, there wasn't a clear-cut chance. Well, there's the one where Watkins got played in, but the offside flag went up late. Other than that, none of the keepers made a proper save as yet, have they?
No,
I don't think.
No, not at all. And I think it comes from kind of two teams cancelling each other out a little bit. Like I said, I think Aston Villa would have gone in at half-time a little bit more happy, a little bit more in control, just because of the way they nullified Tottenham a little bit and frustrated them, and then had them couple of half chances on the counter-attack.
All about playing for a place in the top 4 Champions League football next season. Villa starting the day 5 points ahead of Tottenham. Villa in 4th, Tottenham in 5th. Tottenham with the game in hand. Villa 0, Tottenham 0. Second half underway. Tottenham looking to win the ball back inside the Villa half. They are all in white, the visitors, with blue numbers on their backs. They're playing from right to left second half towards the north stand, and Aston Villa attacking the famous Holt End in the claret and blue. Here's John McGinn in his short sleeve shirt, floated pass, good one to Matty Cash. Katz gets away from Van der Ven into the penalty area, left-footed drive. Van der Ven blocks the shot and the ball goes spinning across the face of the penalty area, and Kulusevski is able to get there first for Tottenham. He holds off Pau Torres. Torres way up the field for Aston Villa here. Sarr looks for a right-footed ball down the line to get Kulusevski away, but it goes out of play for a throw into Villa on the left.
Good play from Aston Villa, Ali. Real good play, and kind of carrying on the flow from the first half. A ball in behind, Matty Cash getting in behind. We said how important the wing-backs are in a back five formation. It's something Aston Villa have used really well. But again, like I said, carrying on the flow of the first half, where Aston Villa win the ball and they break in behind.
So the 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League underway. Brighton, Nottingham Forest and West Ham Burnley. Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Commentary available over on Radio 5 Sports Extra as Villa give the ball away. Here's Son Heung-min. Oh, looking for Johnson on the left. Konza does a really good job for his team. Didn't panic, stood in the right spot, intercepted the pass, and also then played a very good ball himself away to the left to Pau Torres. West Ham Burnley available as a commentary online. This one here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds if you're on the move this Sunday. Pau Torres, edge of the Tottenham area, looking for the ball into the box. Bailey's in there. Bailey drives the shot, takes a big deflection. Over the bar it goes, and that will be a corner. No, it won't. There was an offside flag up. Bailey in an offside position when he ran onto the ball from Pau Torres, who's been well forward in the first couple of minutes for Villa in this second half.
Done really well, really well stepping in. But let's just talk about Konza's defending first and foremost. I think to read the pass in behind and intercept, and then have the calmness to play out to Pau Torres on the other side of defence, and then to step up and... Oh, there we go, we're talking about Van de Ven there.
Van de Ven. Yeah, Van de Ven's the one who's got the problem. He's just sat down inside his own penalty area away to our right, rocked onto his back, shaking his head, and that is why Dragusin was warming up extensively during half-time. So that's a blow.
Yeah, a huge blow. I just hope it's not his hamstring. I think it was his hamstring early on in the season, and you look at and you see so many powerful players, quick players, fast players doing the hamstrings. I just hope it's not his hamstring that's been done, because he's a massive loss for Tottenham. We've seen it early on in the season with how they started the season, and then they lost him, and listen, he's a huge loss for Tottenham if that's what it is.
Loss for the game as well, isn't he, Conor, in terms of just if you're watching this game as a neutral, or like we are commentating on it. He's a great footballer to watch, isn't he, Van de Ven, I think?
Oh, without a doubt, and he's how you want to watch football. You want to watch football on the front foot, and you want to watch people being aggressive and stepping in and not worrying about the space in behind, but using his pace to get back. He's a fantastic footballer, and like I said, for this Tottenham team and how they play, he's a massive part of that.
Well, talking massive, we got close up to Radu Dragusin at half-time, and he is a big boy in his white Tottenham shirt, number 6 on his back, long hair tied up in a top knot, sort of Gareth Bale style top of his head. Sad to see Mickey Van de Ven making his way off the field. He seems to be moving relatively okay. He's not having to be helped off the field, so clearly he must have felt something late in the first half, has started in the second half. He looks incredibly disappointed, as you would do. But this is something now. I mean, this is big for Dragusin. 3 sub-appearances so far for Tottenham, and suddenly you're on into this game against Watkins and Bailey.
It's huge, Ali. It's huge. And it'll be interesting kind of how Tottenham play now and how they go about it. I know they'll never change the way they play. We've heard that from the manager. But he's a huge part in what they do. The reason they're so high up the pitch is because of how fast he is.
Very disgruntled Mickey Van de Ven comes trudging past our commentary position here, heading straight for the tunnel at Villa Park. I'll give you the 2 team lineups in just a second. Tottenham breaking out of their own half. Sarr runs onto the ball from Kulusevski. Maddison making ground in the middle. Maddison stretches. It's in the back of the net. Now, I'm not sure who got the final touch there. It may well be an own goal. The cross was brilliant from Sarr. Maddison was threatening at the near post. Someone stuck a leg out, and the ball has ended up in the back of the Aston Villa net. It's the Tottenham players celebrating as they try and close in on Villa in the race for Champions League football next season. Villa 0, Tottenham 1.
Ali, absolutely huge. What a cross from Sarr, by the way. What a run to start off with from midfield, running in behind, doing to Aston Villa what Aston Villa have been doing to Tottenham. It's a brilliant run in behind, and the cross is on a sixpence. It's brilliant. It's a great run from Maddison. Don't know whether he got the touch. I think it might have been an own goal.
Yeah.
The cross does absolutely everything for the goal. A brilliant cross and a brilliant goal from Tottenham.
We'll have a look now. Here's Sarr, who got away down the right-hand side. Maddison, you could see making the run. Looks like he's onside to me as the ball comes in. Oh no, it is Maddison. It is Maddison who sticks out a right leg and gets that touch. The way he ran away to celebrate suggested to me that it may have been an own goal, but Maddison is the one who gets between the 2 defenders, sticks a left leg out and knocks the ball into the back of the net. Tottenham have been celebrating. We are just waiting for a possible offside to be checked, but I think it's going to be okay. Up on the screen it goes. Checking goal, possible offside. Tottenham players back in their own half. James Maddison, having celebrated with his teammates and the Tottenham fans, then broke away from the huddle. Goal is given. Maddison scores. Villa 0, Tottenham 1. And did you see James Maddison then walk towards the north stand where the Villa fans are, stepped up to the Oki and gave it the little darts celebration as well.
Just to tell everybody it was his goal, for people thinking it might have been an own goal. Listen, we're not giving credit there for his finish.
No,
on his left foot, ball high and gets it into the ground, into the back of the net. But the run from Sarr and the cross is absolutely outstanding.
He fooled me, Conor, with the celebration, because the way he ran off, I think he actually went off to go and congratulate Sarr on the cross, which is why he didn't sort of say, look at me, I've scored the goal, which made me think it might have been an own goal. But Maddison with a brilliant run into the near post, and Sarr with fantastic delivery. You can watch the highlights tonight. Tielemans' shot from the edge of the penalty area takes a big deflection. Bailey jumps with Vicario, runs into Vicario, drops the ball, but he's able to get to his feet and pick it up for Tottenham on the bounce. And now Tottenham have the lead, and they have the ball inside their own half. And here is the goal scorer, Maddison, left-footed pass towards Son, lays it into the path of Udogie. Tottenham full of confidence now. Porro had to hold his run. Udogie brings it forward, finds Son. Oh, Kulusevski let it go. Udogie's control lets him down on the edge of the box, because a good first touch there, he was in.
Villa just need to stay strong here. Villa can't concede again. I think it's so important that they don't concede again. They keep themselves in the game, they stay in the game for as long as possible, and it'll be interesting now just to see if they come out of that back five a little bit, out of that mid-block.
Here's McGinn on the ball for Villa. That was clever. Looked like he was going to play back to Cash, then got away from Bissouma. Ball down the right-hand side, intercepted, and it goes out for a throw-in to Villa. So fast-paced start to the second half. Villa 0, Tottenham 1. Conor Coady, Leicester defender, England defender, watching with us here at Villa Park. James Maddison, the goal scorer. Villa with Emi Martinez in goal. Konza, Torres and Longley, they've lost it inside their own half. Chance for Tottenham here. Son slides it into Brennan Johnson, who finds the roof of the net, and Tottenham have 2 goals right at the start of the second half. Maddison and Johnson go running over to celebrate with the Tottenham fans. Villa caught in their own half, and suddenly in the space of 8 second half minutes they find themselves 2 goals down. Villa 0, Tottenham 2.
Ali, the game's been flipped on its head, absolutely flipped. I think the first half we spoke about Aston Villa being comfortable. What a great finish from Brennan Johnson. And Son, if you watch Son, the way he just holds his pass here and he just delays his pass just until Brennan Johnson's in the right place for him to open up his body and stick it into the roof of the net. It's a brilliant goal, but we literally just said a minute ago, Ali, about Aston Villa staying in the game, trying to stay in the game, trying to keep it at once, keep themselves in it, but Tottenham absolutely lethal on the counter-attack, and a brilliant finish from Brennan Johnson.
It was Konza's pass across his own half looking for Tielemans. Tielemans didn't see Kulusevski sneaking up behind him. Kulusevski saw the opportunity, got it to Son. Son found Brennan Johnson, and Brennan Johnson, as I said, starting today, having made a recent impact off the bench. Late winner against Brighton, 2 assists in the win against Crystal Palace last week, and now a goal to put Tottenham 2-0 up at Aston Villa. We've still not got through that team news, and there's been a goal at West Ham. Sohail Sahi.
Surprise, surprise, West Ham 0, Burnley 1 after 11 minutes. David Fofana with a 25-yard searing shot. It was unstoppable for Alphonse Areola. What a fantastic goal. West Ham 0, Burnley 1.
Villa 0, Tottenham 2. Maddison and Johnson the scorers for Tottenham. Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0, and I see in the Championship Bristol City leads Swansea by a goal to 0. It finished Huddersfield 1, West Brom 4. So Konza, Torres, Longley, the 3 centre-backs, Matty Cash and Luca Dean, the wing-backs, John McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Yuri Tielemans, Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. But Conor Coady, Unai Emery's already thinking about making changes.
Yeah, and I think it's one of them where you go a goal down, you go 2 goals down, and it's whether you change that back 5, and like I said, just change the kind of way Aston Villa have been entering the game in terms of, like I said, being calm, being in that mid-block, but they've got to get after the ball now, as you can see. But I think Tottenham are smelling blood a little bit at the minute.
Tottenham's goalkeeper Vicario, all in yellow, under a bit of pressure. Low pass from him out to Porro. Porro's long ball down the right-hand side. Son Heung-min sprinting at full speed here, chasing this down. It's with Emi Martinez. Has time to play the pass to Konza. He's under pressure from Brennan Johnson, but Tottenham are running to try and close it down. Cash is caught in possession, but he's fouled. And that will be a free kick for Aston Villa. Energy levels there from the Tottenham players closing that down.
Oh, that's what a goal or two gives you, Ali. Honestly, the feeling of being on the pitch when your team scores, you want to go again and again and again. I think you can see it from these Tottenham players. I said a minute ago about them smelling blood. I think you can feel it. You can see Son running after a little bit of a lost cause and trying to get on the end of it, and that's what it gives you. A goal or two gives you that little bit of a spring in your step.
Liverpool-Manchester City kicks off at 3:45 this afternoon. John Murray and Pat Nevin, your commentary team. We'll be hearing from John in a little while with the team news from Anfield, which promises to be interesting. As he said, Arsenal, the Premier League leaders, of course, after their win against Brentford yesterday. Hoping for a draw in that one. That will keep them top of the table on goal difference. Yuri Tielemans from deep inside his own half. Longer ball looking for Bailey. Dragusin has it covered for Tottenham. He's on as the substitute for Mickey van der Ven as the left-sided centre-back. Ball up the left-hand side to Udogie. Udogie back to Bissouma. Bissouma, nice pass from him to Brennan Johnson on the left. Triple change coming for Aston Villa. Johnson's lost it, thought he was fouled. Cash plays it to Tielemans, looking for the run of Watkins through the middle. Romero there just in time for Tottenham, who intercepts and finds Maddison. Porro on the ball inside his own half. Tottenham have Vicario in goal. Porro and Udogie, the two full-backs. Romero now partnered by Dragusin at centre-back. Bissouma and Sarr, the two midfielders, and that ball is overhit from Maddison. It's beyond Brennan Johnson. Johnson and Maddison the goal scorers. Kulusevski wide on the right, and Son Heung-min, the captain, through the middle. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Triple change coming here, Conor, Coady.
Yeah, I think we said, didn't we, when the first goal goes in, but especially when the second one goes in, how do you go about it? We see is it Longley coming off here? I think it is. I think Longley's coming off, and I can imagine there'll be a change in formation just to get after the game a little bit. This is a huge game for Aston Villa, a huge game for Tottenham as well, but I think it's going to be something where they get after the game a little bit more now.
Nicolo Zaniolo, the Italian, comes on. Yuri Tielemans, another one to come off, as well as Longley. Moussa Diaby is on, but Bailey stays on with Villa chasing the game. Change at left back as well. Luca Dean is replaced by Alex Moreno. And just before the game gets back underway, delighted to say my old boss from BBC Radio Bristol days, Jeff Twentyman, listening in this afternoon, former footballer himself, of course, played with Conor's daddy, tells me, Andy, when they were kids. Conor, Kirkstone Dynamos in the Bootle and Litherland League. How about that?
Oh, I tell you, I weren't expecting you to tell me that today, Ali. It's something, it'll be made up, my dad, with that shout out, by the way. So thank you very much for that.
Yes, well done, Andy, and well done, Jeff. Free kick for Aston Villa. Great to have Jeff listening in. Matty Cash plays the ball to Leon Bailey. Bailey looking for the run of Cash down the right. Intercepted by Udogie. You can now hear some frustration from the Villa fans when the passes don't come off. Son at full speed again down the left. McGinn shoulder to shoulder wins the battle. Kulusevski steps in. Konza leans over the back of him. Kulusevski goes down. Good strong run from McGinn down the right. Then he goes down on the halfway line, and Aston Villa get the free kick, which he takes quickly. Bailey's away down the right hand side. Tottenham defenders desperately scrambling back. Interception from Dragusin at the near post. Good defending. Tottenham have it again.
Tell you what, Dragusin's been really, really good since he's come on. We said when Van der Ven went off, does it affect the way Tottenham do things? We know they don't want to change, but at the same time he's come on, and the ball in behind to start off with, and that bit of defending there was fantastic from him.
Burnley 1-up at West Ham. Commentary of that game available online. Early stages, Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Chris Temple.
Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0, 15 minutes gone, Ali, but Brighton have just come close. A flick header by Jakub Moda from a Pascal Gross free kick, turned away by the Forest keeper, Matt Sells. Brighton dominating possession, 0-0, 15 gone.
Brighton off the back of a rather humbling defeat on Thursday night away to Roma in the Europa League. Son's first time ball from the left, looking for Kulusevski at the far post. Aston Villa defenders back to have it covered. Tottenham still have it wide on the right. They're leading Aston Villa by 2-0. Gets very interesting if Tottenham win this game. They'll move to 53 points. They'll have the game in hand on Villa. Villa just 2 points ahead of them. And here's Sarr, finds Romero, and it happened just like that. Quick fire, start of the second half. James Maddison converting the Pap Sarr cross, and then Brennan Johnson sticking it away from Son's pass. Maddison looking for the pass out to the right to Kulusevski. Moreno nods the bouncing ball away. Sarr's there again on the right for Tottenham, showing a bit of flair as well, just rolling the ball under the studs of his right boot twice. Tottenham working into space for Porro. Oh, Brennan Johnson wanted that early, didn't get it. Kulusevski with the cutback, looking for Maddison. That's blocked. Corner for Tottenham. Villa 0, Tottenham 2.
I'll tell you what, Ali, they're a great team to watch, Spurs, aren't they, when they're in full flow like this. The fluidity and the way they play, corner taken quickly, is fantastic.
Breathless stuff. Porro's cross in, headed away by Pau Torres at the near post, controlled by Kulusevski. Looks to win that second ball. Spins loose edge of the area. McGinn under pressure from Dragusin, who panicked a little with that challenge. Whistle blows, free kick. McGinn takes it quickly. That might be a yellow card there for Dragusin, who didn't get clear of the free kick, and McGinn is ready to go again. Villa 0, Tottenham 2. By the way, talking European football, full commentary Arsenal-Porto on Tuesday night, which will be another fascinating listen because Porto have the lead from the first leg. Arsenal with their late winner against Brentford yesterday, trying to get through in the last 16 of the Champions League. We'll have full commentary on Atletico against Inter on Wednesday night. And then, as I said in the first half, Conor's Leicester, one of our commentary games in the FA Cup quarter-finals. That's next Sunday, kicks off at 12:45. Chelsea-Leicester. We've got Wolves Coventry on the Saturday. Full commentary on that at 12:15. Konza plays up to Watkins. Villa desperately need the next goal in the game. Here's Maddison. Maddison plays back to Dragusin, and Dragusin quite happy to go back to his goalkeeper Vicario.
Tell you what, Ali, Romero's played Watkins really, really well, hasn't he? Considering the form Watkins finds himself in the last few weeks and this season, I think he's played him really, really well. He's been aggressive when he's had to be aggressive. He's made sure he's given himself space when he's had to run back. I think he's played really well against them.
So here's Vicario, Tottenham's Italian goalkeeper in his first season at the club, all in yellow. Tottenham play out. Maddison just scrambles a pass under pressure to Johnson. First time ball nearly found Udogie. Pass just gets away from him. Martinez comes out to the edge of his own penalty area to collect. So the only two teams to win here in the Premier League so far this season, Newcastle and Manchester United. Chelsea managed it in the FA Cup. Zaniolo, pacey pass, looking to find Diaby. Blocked. Ball is with Villa again. Douglas Luiz glides past Maddison outside of his right foot. Low spinning pass to Bailey. Bailey's ball for Diaby. Diaby's mistimed the run. He's caught offside, and Tottenham have a free kick. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, with full commentary on Liverpool, Manchester City to follow, which kicks off at 3:45, and Wales, France in the Six Nations kicks off at 3 this afternoon. Commentary starts online. And then moves to Sports Extra as Son chases a long ball downfield. Searing pace from Son to get to that ball inside the Villa penalty area, but Pau Torres does so well to eventually win the challenge and clear. Sarr onto that ball for Tottenham just inside the Villa half. Tottenham work it well away from the Villa players. Porro slows it down for a second. Kulusevski gets back onside. Here's Sarr to Bissouma, and Tottenham recycle and come back into their own half. Romero across to Dragusin, who's settled well. Diagonal ball from him. Zaniolo, tall man with the blonde highlights in his hair, wins a header. Tottenham have it again. Here's Romero walking forward boldly with the ball at his feet. Finds Sarr. Porro's pass hits Zaniolo. Son turns a pass around the corner. Kulusevski looking for the run of Maddison. Maddison's furious about something there that Tottenham got wrong, he feels, in the build-up. Villa get the throw.
I think you can see there Maddison, can't he? I think he had an opportunity to get on the ball between the lines and in that position that he loves on the half turn, and he never got it. He was showing his frustration, but listen, Tottenham are playing really well. I think it's flipped a little bit from the first half. We can hear the frustration in Villa Park and the crowd kind of feeling that as well.
Bailey's ball forward, blocked by Udogie, falls to the feet of Johnson. Johnson just inside the Villa half, but moving towards his own goal, moves back into his own half. Passes to Dragusin. He comes back to his goalkeeper. McGinn slides in on that ball to Bissouma and very nearly won it for Villa. Vicario, quick pass to Dragusin, that's blocked. Villa all over Tottenham at the back here. McGinn inside the penalty area looking for the pass across goal. Vicario does really well, stretches forward and gets a block on the cross with his right hand, and Tottenham get it out of their penalty area and they play out as well. Udogie to Maddison. Maddison rolls it back to Udogie, just knocks it past Diaby. Keeps going. Bad challenge from McGinn. Udogie doesn't like that. Brennan Johnson doesn't like it either. McGinn saying, what's all the fuss about? It wasn't a good challenge. Maddison steps in, and suddenly both sets of subs are moving in. And this needs to be calmed down very quickly. And Unai Emery, the Villa boss, actually has dragged John McGinn away from it. Udogie's going to be okay. McGinn came in at pace. Got to be a yellow card, isn't it, Conor?
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's a real naughty challenge. It's something that John McGinn knows what he's doing. He knows he's trying to stop the counter-attack. And listen, it was a little bit of a heavy challenge. I understand.
Seen a red card.
Has he red carded him?
Red card's gone up. Now who's that gone to? Chris Kavanagh, standing on the pitch here with his hands on his hips. Has John McGinn been given a red card? John McGinn has been given a red card. He's handed over the captain's armband. There's all sorts going there on the touchline. And John McGinn with his head in his hands. Oh, it's a really bad tackle by John McGinn. But he's just waiting here, John McGinn, because Chris Kavanagh is obviously talking to the video assistant referee, who can get involved in decisions like this if they think that the referee needs to reconsider. Udogie is still down receiving treatment. McGinn was on his way to the tunnel, but he's stopped now, and he's just waiting to see the eventual decision here. Conor, you've had another look at the challenge. What do you think about the red card?
I think you're exactly right, Ali. It's cynical. It's really cynical. Is it a red card? It's obviously staying, the red card staying, but you very rarely see them. It's a strong tackle from John McGinn, I'll be honest, a really strong tackle. He's trying to stop the counter-attack. I think we've all been there, but he's obviously gone in a little bit too... Listen, I'd be gutted seeing my teammate being sent off for that, but at the same time, I do understand the Tottenham bench's reaction and the Tottenham players' reaction, because it was a real strong challenge from John McGinn.
Cynical challenge made at high speed, I guess endangering the safety of Destiny Udogie, and no attempt to play the ball. We knew what John McGinn was trying to do. That is what Chris Kavanagh has decided. He's been backed by the video assistant referee, who's Tim Robinson this afternoon, and that makes Aston Villa's job incredibly difficult, and they will obviously lose John McGinn through suspension as well as we move into the business end of the season. So atmosphere was ramping up. John McGinn got carried away. Udogie made a great run down the left-hand side, and I'm sure John McGinn is already regretting that bitterly inside the changing room at Villa Park. We're still waiting for the game to get back underway, because Chris Kavanagh receiving instruction. He's happy we can get back underway. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, and Villa down to 10 men.
I'll tell you what, Ali, he was the one as well who was driving Aston Villa. He was absolutely driving Aston Villa. He was somebody who was really pushing them in the second half, just to try and get back on the front foot. So to see the captain go off and see one of the main players go off is really disappointing for Villa.
Midway through the second half, so Tottenham with the lead, the man advantage as well. Maddison plays the ball to Bissouma. Maddison was involved in the dust-up. He came in to stick up for his teammate Destiny Udogie. Udogie back on his feet, very attacking position at the moment as Tottenham knock the ball around inside their own half. They lead by 2-0. Take you back to the London Stadium in a second. Drag us in though has found Brennan Johnson wide on the left. Bailey's back doing some defending. Tim Iregbunam is getting ready to come on for Aston Villa, having lost John McGinn to the red card. Tottenham win themselves a free kick. So what's happening in the game between West Ham and Burnley? Sahel Sahi.
Still West Ham 0, Burnley 1. We've played 25 minutes here at the London Stadium, Alistair, and it's been a really impressive opening 25 minutes from the side that are currently bottom of the Premier League. West Ham are struggling to get any flow and rhythm. West Ham 0, Burnley 1.
Commentary of that game continues online. Full commentary of Liverpool-Manchester City to come here on 5 Live this Sunday afternoon. Football Daily podcast at the end of the day's play will be there for you later tonight. Ben Haynes and Neda Manua with that as usual on a Sunday. And if you can't listen to it tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, possibly on the way to work, as Udogie lays the ball back to Maddison. Maddison's ball looking for Johnson wide on the left, and the offside flag goes up as Johnson reaches the ball and he runs it to the corner flag, and he's not going to go and get that, obviously, for Aston Villa. Villa 0, Tottenham 2. Conor Coady.
Oh, Ali, this is the exact position Tottenham want to find themselves in. I think it's something now where they'll try the best to control the game with the ball. They'll move it. They won't stop doing what they do. They'll keep on the high line. But I think this is exactly where they want to be. They've got Aston Villa in exactly the same position, and it's important they just keep on controlling the game now.
Leon Bailey comes off. Tim Iregbunam, 20-year-old, comes on. Full time in the Championship. Bristol City 1, Swansea 0. Huddersfield 1, West Brom 4. That is also a full-time result. Women's FA Cup quarter-finals. Everton 0, Chelsea 0. With half an hour to play. Tottenham Manchester City kicks off at 3 o'clock. Not too far away from the team news coming from Anfield either, from John Murray. Pap Sarr applauded off by the Tottenham fans to be replaced by Rodrigo Bentancur, brought back into the starting lineup today. He got it going, Conor. His run, his cross got it going for Tottenham today.
I was going to say he deserves a high five from his manager just for the cross and the running behind. It was a brilliant piece of play, and it was important that cross went in the way it did. It was a fantastic ball in, and listen, like I said, we give Maddison some praise for his finish, but the cross made everything in the running behind.
Celtic Livingston about to get underway. Scottish Cup quarter-final this afternoon kicks off at 2:30. We'll have updates on that. Hibs Rangers kicks off at 5:30. Udogie with an interception. Cash came in and tried to knock Udogie down. He's able to ride that challenge and keep going. Crosses the halfway line. Porro's down hurt though now for Tottenham. Face buried in the turf, holding his right foot. So we get yet another stoppage in play, and that gives James Maddison a chance to come over to a member of the coaching staff and receive a couple of instructions. Tottenham well in control of this game. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, and I tell you what, Conor, from the neutrals' point of view, in terms of that race for the top four, suddenly Tottenham 2 points behind Villa with the game in hand.
Yeah, and this is why this game was so important. We mentioned it before the game about the points and where Tottenham find themselves, but listen, Tottenham are full of belief. You can see it with this performance and how they're playing, how fluid they are, how they move the ball, how much of in control of a game they are. So this is massive for them, and they'll have full belief they can go on and clinch that top four.
Chris Sutton, Robbie Savage will want to hear from the Villa fans, Tottenham fans tonight on 6:06 from 6 until 8 this evening, after our commentary of Liverpool against Manchester City, match of the day 2, BBC One, 10:30 tonight for the highlights. Bissouma on the ball for Tottenham, just 20 minutes to play in the game. Tottenham in total control. Bentancur smoothly passes the ball forward. It's worked out to Kulusevski on the right hand side. Kulusevski up against Moreno, gets it back onto his left foot, the Tottenham winger. Bissouma, little 1-2 with Maddison. Maddison's just doing that thing where he's popping up into space with little layoffs and then darting off to receive that pass, but now they've lost it. Here's Zaniolo. Zaniolo evades the challenge of Bissouma, gets the pass out to Diaby, can't quite take it in his stride, and Udogie's able to make the tackle, and it's given as a throw to Tottenham on the left, and then Unai Emery with a little drag back keeps the ball away from Brennan Johnson. Neat touch.
Yeah, it's one of them games at the minute where everything's going right for Tottenham. You see there with a tackle from Udogie where he just kicks it off Diaby and it ends up being a Tottenham ball. Everything just seems to be going right for them, and it's a tough one for Aston Villa now. It's, do you come out and try and get that other goal or do you concede on the counter-attack? It's such a tough game, and it's horrible when you're in situations like this, honestly, when you're down to 10 men.
Well, last season Aston Villa, of course, finished 7th, 1 place, 1 point above Tottenham to qualify for European football this season. Now we're talking about potential Champions League qualification. Could be very tight between these two right up to the end of the season. Vicario, Tottenham's keeper, plays out to Romero. The Tottenham fans you can hear singing at the moment at Villa Park. Ball is with Dragusin, Tottenham's replacement centre-back, running forward, diagonal pass, looking for the run of Kulusevski. Martinez quickly outside his penalty area to cover the danger, lets the ball run back into his box and side-foots it to Pau Torres. So Villa down to 10 men. If you are just tuning in, John McGinn has been sent off, straight red card as well, for a pretty ugly lunging challenge that he made on Udogie. Douglas Luiz trying to turn, tackled by Bentancur inside his own half. Son, edge of the area, rolls it to Kulusevski, cuts it back. Son takes another touch, forces him just wide. His pass back won't reach Bentancur. Konza is able to glide in and bring the ball away for Aston Villa, but he might lose it inside his own half again, surrounded by white shirts. Goes down, picks himself up, does absolutely brilliantly. Zaniolo trying to escape down the left and can't quite keep the ball in play. That will be a throw-in for Tottenham on the right. First goal of the afternoon at the Amex Stadium. Chris Temple.
And it's gone to Brighton. They lead Nottingham Forest by 1-0, just short of the half hour. Pascal Gross's free kicks have been causing problems all afternoon. This one from the left, I think it's an own goal in the end of Andrew Omobamidele, the Nottingham Forest centre half. Brighton 1 up after half an hour.
So that continues, commentary does, over on Sports Extra. West Ham Burnley is online, Burnley leading that game by 1-0, and Chelsea's women have taken the lead in the Women's FA Cup quarter-final away to Everton with a quarter of the game to play. Everton 0, Chelsea 1. Son, first time layoff here to Porro. Son making a run, trying to get in behind. Torres saw it and sticks out a left boot and intercepts the pass. Douglas Luiz, little nutmeg there on Udogie, curling ball down the right. Diaby in quite a bit of space because Udogie is out of position here. Diaby running at Tottenham defenders across the face of the box, hits the shot, that is blocked on the edge of the box, and Brennan Johnson is there to tidy up for Tottenham.
They defended really well today, Tottenham. Even Dragusin, since he come on, we said that when he come on for Van der Ven, what he would do to affect this team, and I think he's been brilliant. Even there, just being calm, forcing Diaby inside, and obviously getting players back to help him defend. He's done really, really well since he's come on. Not
too far away from getting the team news ahead of our second Premier League commentary of the afternoon. Big game at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester City. Liverpool on 63 points, Manchester City on 62, both trailing Arsenal, who lead the league on 64. Tottenham come looking for a third. Look at Son making a blinding run down the left-hand side. Not seen by Bentancur. He's used Kulusevski on the right. Kulusevski up to the edge of the Villa box. Son was still there, and he's so annoyed with Kulusevski for hitting the shot. He's blasted it over the bar twice. Son could have been played in, and Tottenham didn't use him. He's absolutely spitting, Conor.
Yeah, fuming. And listen, he should have been played in. It's a real big chance for Tottenham, that. But what a lovely bit of play down the far end. Started in the Tottenham half in the corner, switched to play, and out it goes to Kulusevski, and then back in for a shot on goal. It should have been played to Son, but another brilliant bit of play from Tottenham.
15 minutes to play. Tottenham well in control. Villa down to 10 men. Villa 0, Tottenham 2. And with the win, Tottenham will move 2 points behind Villa in this Premier League table. Diaby. Can Villa get themselves a goal? Cash's cross from the right, blocked by Dragusin, who, having blocked it, has gone down winded. But Aston Villa will have a corner when the game gets back underway. Dragusin is slowly hauling himself to his feet. Douglas Luiz comes shuffling over towards the corner flag, away to the right. In fact, he may have just caught that just below the tummy area, if you know what I mean, which is why that got a bit of a cheer from the Villa fans.
We won't talk about that, Ali.
Having seen the replay on the monitor. Conor Coady with us at Villa Park. Impressive Tottenham performance. 2 early goals in the second half, have them 2-0 in front. John McGinn's rash challenge saw him get the red card. Douglas Luiz with the corner, low one into the near post. Don't know if he meant to hit it like that, but it's easily cleared away. Emi Martinez on the halfway line. First time ball from him, launched towards the edge of the Tottenham box, headed away by Udogie. Can Tottenham get downfield quickly? No, Bentancur's lost it. Here's Ollie Watkins, tackled on the edge of the box by Udogie. Chris Kavanagh says no foul. Udogie gets it to Kulusevski. Kulusevski is knocked to the floor, picks himself up and keeps going. Zaniolo's back there chasing. Kulusevski gets away from him as well. Can they find Son in the middle? Kulusevski with the drag back. Zaniolo stops him this time. Kulusevski fouls the Villa man, and Aston Villa get the free kick.
Yeah, the space is opening up now for Tottenham. We said about do Aston Villa come out and start looking for that goal, and the space will open up for Tottenham on a counter-attack. And you see there, Kulusevski runs near on the full length of the pitch just to get himself up there, but got himself back up there, and it's something now Aston Villa back on the ball.
Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0 in the Premier League. West Ham 0, Burnley 1, Liverpool, Manchester City to come, which kicks off at 3:45. And as I said, Tuesday night, full commentary of Arsenal Porto, Champions League last 16, second leg. Villa throw wide on the left. Big game for them as well on Thursday night here at home against Ajax to continue progression in the Europa Conference League. Ball out to the right from Konza. Konza finds Diaby. Udogie blocks his path. Here's Iregbunam, the substitute. Turns away from Bissouma, back to Konza. Douglas Luiz. Curling ball over the top is a really good one. Finds Diaby. First time crosses behind Watkins. No one there for Villa to follow onto it. And Bissouma prods it to Johnson. Lovely first time ball. Maddison whips it low with real spin on it out to Son Heung-min. Son is jogging at the moment, waiting for support to get up there. Still Son on the ball on the left, and he's slowed it down for Tottenham. And Bissouma comes up in support. 12 minutes plus added time remaining. And Tottenham heading for a very precious 3 points in the race for Champions League football. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, and Villa Park is feeling quite quiet at the moment.
Yeah, it is. I think you understand kind of the situation Aston Villa are in. I think we all understand it gets tough when it gets to 10 men, especially 2-0 down against this Tottenham team who look brimming with confidence. They look in control. They look exactly the way they want to play, and a team after the coach. So I think it's good from Tottenham. They've been really good, and the spaces are just starting to open up for them now.
Tottenham will feature in a Premier League commentary on 5 Live next Saturday. Commentary will start on Sports Extra at 5:30. It's the final weekend of the Six Nations. Full commentary of Ireland, Scotland on 5 Live at 4:45. France, England kicks off at 8 o'clock. Our 3 o'clock Premier League offering Luton, Nottingham Forest. Two teams battling for points at the bottom end of the table. Diaby on the ball for Aston Villa, chased by Bentancur, plays back to Cash. Cash, edge of his own penalty area, passes back to Martinez. Son closes in. Martinez scrapes the ball away to Torres. Torres with a little low pass to his left to Moreno. Moreno trying to get away from Kulusevski. Does that. Still going, Moreno. Zaniolo ahead of him. Sliding challenge is made by Romero. Zaniolo goes down. Play continues. Here's Maddison. Maddison Cheeky little pass forward, gets it straight back from Bentancur. Kulusevski tries to bend his run to stay onside. Flag stays down for the moment. Kulusevski reaches the ball down by the dead ball line, whips the cross in. Johnson at the far post, controls it on his thighs, hits the right-footed shot. That's blocked at close range. Bentancur waits for it to come down on the edge of the box, but Douglas Luiz is able to get his body in the way and plays it away to Moreno. Quick ball forward, Bissouma deflects it up in the air. Watkins heads it to his left. Romero is there. And at times like that, you can just see Tottenham's extra man counting, and they get themselves back on the ball.
Yeah, the extra man, but also the experience of Romero. You seen a minute ago where he's stepping in and making the tackle and sustaining pressure for Tottenham. And like we said about the first half, just suffocating them a little bit, keeping them in their own half. And that's the experience of Romero and how he wants to play. And you see in there just tidying up, giving it back to the midfield players, and off they go again.
Yes, here they come again. Tottenham leading by 2-0. Porro on the turn on the halfway line. When they've got it inside their own half, happy to take the sting out of the game, but here's an opportunity to get one forward quickly to Johnson on the left. Johnson up against Cash. Johnson using his body, swerving left and right. The ball doesn't move. Matty Cash keeps his eyes on it. Tottenham still have it, leading Aston Villa here by 2-0. Early goal in the Scottish Cup quarter-final, Celtic Livingston. Kenny Crawford.
It's Celtic 1, Livingston 0, and it's Daisen Maeda, the Japanese international. Brilliant clip ball in by Nicholas Kuhn, the German, signed from Rapid Vienna, and Daisen Maeda from 10 yards just put it under Michael McGovern to make it 1-0. Livy had earlier hit the post. That was a scare for Celtic, but they now lead 1-0 against Livingston.
Son Heung-min, good chance here, 6 yards out, couldn't quite bring the ball under control to get the shot away. Tottenham leading Aston Villa by 2-0 in the closing stages. Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and West Ham 0, Burnley 1. Here's Emi Martinez, low pass from him. We're into the last 10 minutes of this game. Timo Werner and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg waiting to come on for Tottenham. Martinez, little trick on the edge of his own penalty area. Pau Torres, pass forward intercepted, chance for Tottenham to kill the game. Kulusevski tried to be clever with the pass, couldn't find Maddison. Good movement of the body again from Kulusevski though, has it just inside the penalty area on the right. Plays back to Porro, and Tottenham again happy to come back here. Got the extra man, got the 2-0 lead, no need to take any risks.
Yeah, and as well, I think what's been really impressive about Tottenham is they've not stopped going for that third goal. I think a lot of the time you see Premier League teams and teams in general playing football where a team goes down 10 men, you just think, oh, we'll keep the ball, we'll see it out for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. Tottenham haven't done that, they've gone for the third goal, and I think that's what's been really good about them.
Conor Coady with us on 5 Live Sport, BBC Sounds. Take us with you wherever you go. Liverpool, Manchester City to listen to this afternoon from 3:45, and then your chance to have your say on the phone in tonight, 6:06 from 6 until 8. Tottenham killing this game, keeping the ball on the halfway line with Bissouma. Comes across to Maddison, clever little flick from Bentancur, doesn't find Son though. Konza is there, plays back to his goalkeeper Martinez. Bentancur closes in, Martinez passes it around him. Konza brings it away, low pass up to Watkins. Watkins lays it off to Cash. Cash says to Diaby, on you go, get away down that right. Passes the ball into his path. Diaby tries to beat Udogie on the outside, cross in, Romero's there, gets a good meaty left-footed clearance on it. The ball goes out for a Villa corner.
Again, Romero, really good defending, good play from Aston Villa, getting down the right-hand side, getting the ball into the box. But it's hard when you're down to 10 men to get bodies in the box is really, really tough. And Aston Villa are struggling with that at the minute, but it's an opportunity, it's a corner, and let's see what they can do from it.
Double Tottenham change coming. Højbjerg and Werner waiting. Douglas Luiz goes short with the corner to Diaby. Here is Diaby. Douglas Luiz to his right. Son's in front of him. Diaby keeps it, tries to knock it past Porro, and wins Aston Villa another corner. Diego Carlos waiting to come on for Aston Villa. Again, Douglas Luiz, just short little steps as he comes shuffling towards the corner flag in front of the Holt end, away to our right. If Villa could score one, just get the nerves jangling for Tottenham. Here's the delivery into the penalty area. Good ball drop. Zaniolo with a touch. Vicario came out to block it. The ball's gone behind. Vicario is down holding his head. Zaniolo picks himself up. May well be another corner to Aston Villa after that, but the Tottenham goalkeeper is going to need some treatment. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, came out bravely to block at the feet of Zaniolo, and has taken a bit of a whack as Zaniolo's right boot just catches the goalkeeper Vicario in the face.
Yeah, and he was brave there, Vicario. He's not had much to do this afternoon, and he was brave coming out to kind of squash the chance for Aston Villa. But listen, these are opportunities for Aston Villa. If they could nick one here, it could become really interesting for the last 10-15 minutes.
They're down to 10 men, 6 minutes to play plus added time. There's going to be a bit of that as well after this stoppage here. Diego Carlos waiting to come on for Villa. Tottenham's 2 subs keeping themselves warm as well. While we got the chance in the break in play, Conor, how have you found it sitting here watching rather than being out there playing, which obviously you're still doing all the time?
It's a bit tight. I thought you were going to give me a little bit more room, to be fair, Ali, but no, it's been great. It's been brilliant. You look after me a lot. We've obviously done it one before, which I really enjoyed as well. So no, it's been brilliant, and luckily we've had a good game to commentate on.
Yeah, you and I only seem to, well, we've only done 2 games together so far, but the weather both times has been pretty rotten. Hasn't it? I mean, the one we did at Manchester City a couple of weeks ago, I think it's the wettest I've ever been ahead of a commentary. But
yeah, it was. But the food was nice, wasn't it?
But it was
good food, didn't we? So it was all right.
Yeah, you've seen how we live sometimes on this side of the fence. Connor's obviously still playing his football for Leicester. They're top of the Championship table. West Brom have beaten Huddersfield by 4-1 in the Championship today. Bristol City beat Swansea by 1-0. Diego Carlos has come on. It's Ezri Konsa who's come off. Vicario is back on his feet, and it will be a Villa corner when the game gets back underway, and we've got 5 minutes plus added time to go. John Murray and Pat Nevin will bring you full commentary of Liverpool Manchester City this afternoon, so you'll be able to have a listen to a bit of the post-match reaction, all the big match build-up to the kick-off at 3:45. Pour yourself a cup of tea, get yourself that slice of cake, the biscuits, whatever, and it should be another cracking listen. Ezri Konsa gets a handshake from Ange Postecoglou. He's watching his Tottenham team 2-0 up and defending a corner. That swung into the near post. The ball is headed away. Matty Cash is there. Lofts a header up in the air. Vicario comes, drops it. Scramble inside the box. Hooked away by Maddison in the end with his right foot. And it's found Moreno. Out to the left to Douglas Luiz. Luiz thinks about a cross with his right foot. Thought it was going to be blocked by Porro, so he's come all the way back to the pivot, who's Emi Martinez. Martinez, low pass out to the right-hand side to Diaby. Tottenham still waiting to get Højbjerg and Werner on the pitch. They're leading Aston Villa by 2-0. Diaby's cross into the box. Tottenham desperate to keep the clean sheet. Maddison heads it away after the volley clearance, and now Udogie with strength and speed away down the left. Zaniolo makes the challenge, and the ball goes out for the throw. Another goal at Celtic, Kenny Crawford.
This was not on the script. It's Celtic 1, Livingston 1. The goal has been checked for a possible offside, but Daniel Mackay, who scored in last season's Scottish Cup final, looks like he might have brought Livingston level. Released down the left hand side, and from a tight angle curled it around Joe Hart, and it's getting checked at the moment, so we'll keep you updated.
OK, Kenny, we'll be back to you in a second to get news on that. James Maddison booed off the field by the Villa fans, cheered off the field by the Tottenham fans. Timo Werner is coming on. Ange Postecoglou wraps him up in a big bear hug. He was one of the players, Conor, you were most looking forward to watching today, wasn't he, Maddison?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic. I think any supporter, obviously not Villa ones in here today, but I think any supporter wants to see a player like him. He wants to see a player like him dictating the play, getting the ball, and he's got such a free role in this team. We've always been expected of Maddison to get on the ball in between the lines, get on the half turn, create things, but he drops deep in this team. He received the ball off the back four, and an absolute phenomenal player, yeah.
Brighton still leading Nottingham Forest by 1-0. Commentary over on Sports Extra. Burnley are 1-up at West Ham. Commentary of that game online. They are both moving towards half-time, and the goal stands at Celtic. Celtic 1, Livingston 1 in the Scottish Cup quarter-final. Long ball finds Ollie Watkins. Watkins just outside the Tottenham penalty area. The cross is too long from him, though, beyond Diaby, and the ball skips behind for a goal kick to Tottenham, and you can start to see the light blue seats around this ground appearing as Aston Villa fans make their way out. Villa 0, Tottenham 2, closing minutes here. 3:45 kick-off at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester City. John Murray has the team news.
Well, for Liverpool, Salah is only a substitute. There's no Konate, injured on Thursday, and surprisingly Andy Robertson is only on the bench for Liverpool, with Joe Gomez at left back. So Liverpool, Kelleher in goal, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk and Gomez, Endo with Szoboszlai and McAllister, then Elliott, Nunez and Diaz. So Gakpo with Salah on the substitutes bench. And for Manchester City, no Ruben Dias in the team. I wasn't expecting that. He's only a substitute. So City with Ederson in goal, Walker, Stones, Akanji and Ake, Rodri, then Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Alvarez, with Haaland up front, and Doku is on the bench. He's fit enough, recovered from injury.
Thank you, John. Looking forward to listening to that as Son's low cross comes into the penalty area. Might fall to Kulusevski. Deflected wide by Diego Carlos. That'll be a corner to Tottenham. Straight to the London Stadium with goals. Sahel Sahi.
And a second goal for Burnley. West Ham 0, Burnley 2 with a tap coming down from the left-hand side. It was pulled into the penalty area. It's come off a West Ham player. It's an own goal, but it doesn't matter for Burnley. They lead West Ham by 2-0.
Blimey, that's a turn up for the books. West Ham 0, Burnley 2. Commentary continues online. We had Italy's win over Scotland in the Six Nations yesterday. England's win over Ireland at Twickenham, so thrillingly described by Chris Jones. The Rugby Union Daily podcast, well worth a listen today. Football Daily as well will be there later tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. No Passion, No Point is back. Eddie Hearn's pod on the BBC Sounds app. Early guest in the new series, Stuart Broad and Zarnell Hughes. And Tottenham here leading Aston Villa by 2-0, and we're about to find out how much added time we've got at the end of the game. 10-man Aston Villa, who saw John McGinn sent off. Can Tottenham find a third? Here's Kulusevski. Son, what a finish! Emphatic, into the roof of the net. Huge win for Tottenham at Villa Park. Son makes absolutely no mistake. Villa 0, Tottenham 3.
He's deserved that, Ali. He really has deserved that. What a player, fantastic player, and he's been brilliant all afternoon. Brilliant play from Tottenham. I said before about they've not stopped going with that third goal. They really haven't. They've played the ball in Aston Villa's half. They've managed the game ever so well. Brilliant pass from Kulusevski, brilliant pullback, and what a finish. You expected nothing else from Son. Brilliant goal and a brilliant footballer.
3 really well taken goals by Tottenham this afternoon. James Maddison, Brennan Johnson, and now the captain Son Heung-min, and we get his trademark celebration where he makes the sort of the camera, the TV screen, the rectangle with his thumb and forefinger on each hand, and his jubilant Tottenham teammates go jogging back to their own half. The other thing that's going to be notable about this, I think, Conor, as well as the well-taken goals, not too many clean sheets for Tottenham so far this season. To come to Villa Park and get a clean sheet if they do, that'll be a massive tick in the box as well.
Oh, huge, Ali, huge. And even just the way they've played, they've been on the front foot and they've controlled the majority of the game. I think there was a spell just before half-time where Aston Villa countered a couple of times, a couple of half chances here and there, and we thought you were frustrating Tottenham a little bit. But this second half, they've absolutely blown Aston Villa away. They've been fantastic.
So Villa 0, Tottenham 3. Tottenham closing to within 2 points of Aston Villa in the race for the top 4. Tottenham away to Fulham next week, their last game before the next international break. Aston Villa at home to Ajax on Thursday, and then away to West Ham next weekend. We are in added time at the end of this game at Villa Park. Full commentary on Liverpool, Manchester City to come. Tottenham come looking for a fourth. Son with the right-footed shot. Martinez saves, and Timo Werner may well ask why the ball didn't come across goal towards him. Son only had eyes for goal.
Of course he did. Son going through on goal, he was always going to have a shot. I think it was a hard one as well to see Werner on the left-hand side with Diego Carlos blocking his way, but another good bit of play from Tottenham, another opportunity.
10 minutes of added time to be played here. Just seen that on the Premier League app. I didn't see it go up inside the stadium. So we played 2 minutes of added time. We've still got 8 minutes of that to go. Højbjerg fouled by Ireg-Boonam. Aston Villa getting frustrated. Villa Park is emptying. Tottenham fans are singing. Villa 0, Tottenham 3. And half-time at the Amex Stadium. Brighton against Nottingham Forest. Chris Temple.
And Brighton lead by a goal to Denali at the break. It's an own goal from the Forest centre-back Andrew Omobamidele, jumping at the near post to a Pascal Gross free kick. Inadvertently nodded it into his own net. Forest missed a great chance to level a minute later. Divock Origi went through, denied by the legs of Bart Verbruggen. This hasn't been a classic, but Brighton deservedly in front, 1-0 at half-time.
Commentary of that one over on Sports Extra. Half-time at the London Stadium. Shock scoreline here, you'd say, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, very much so. Half-time here, Alistair. West Ham 0, Burnley 2, and they've deserved their lead. The first from David Fofana, smashed him from 25 yards out, which Alphonse Areola had no chance of saving. The second, just before the break, a low cross which was turned in by Mavropanos. West Ham, they've been disjointed, and their supporters booed the players off at half-time, which is West Ham 0, Burnley 2.
Commentary of that game continues online. Added time at the end of this game at Villa Park. It's going to be a resounding win for Tottenham. Villa 0, Tottenham 3. Son Heung-min, the captain, scorer of the third goal, just says, leave it to me, fellas, give me the ball inside the Villa half. And every Tottenham pass at the moment is getting the Olays. Werner's first time pass to Bentancur. Iregbunam trying to get back at him. Bentancur turns away from him, plays back to Son, still moving at speed into the Villa penalty area. Little left-footed cutback. Oh, fabulous finish. Timo Werner opens his body up, turns and points at Son and says thank you very much for a brilliant assist. But that was a really confident finish from Timo Werner, and Tottenham now having fun at Villa Park. Villa 0, Tottenham 4.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic from Heung-min Son, and then the finish from Werner. But the little bit of play just in front of his ear, Ali, just down the left-hand side, it was absolutely top draw. Brilliant goal, brilliant Tottenham performance, and I'm sure they'll take confidence from this going forward now.
Villa Park almost deserted in terms of the stands where the home fans sit. So in this Trinity Road stand, the Doug Ellis stand, certainly the right-hand side of it as we look across the pitch. The north stand, only a quarter full away to our left-hand side. Heavy defeat for Aston Villa at home. Tottenham with 2 early goals in this second half from Maddison and Johnson, then the McGinn red card, and Tottenham at the end of this game have just punished Aston Villa, and who knows how important the goal difference could be come the end of the season. Tottenham's is moving to plus 20, Aston Villa's is dropping back to plus 18. Tough afternoon for Aston Villa.
It's huge, Ali, it's huge when you come to goal difference. We always say, don't we, it's worth an extra point sometimes, goal difference. So to see Tottenham now, oh, here we go,
they're looking for another here, for a fifth. Right hand side is Kulusevski, down by the byline. Back to Son. Son maybe looking for a 1-2 with Bentancur. Decides to turn inside the Villa penalty area. Runs into a cul-de-sac there. We've still got 5 minutes of added time to go. Tottenham leading Aston Villa by 4 goals to 0 here. Porro's trying to keep the ball in play on the right. Tottenham have won a throw. Another goal at Celtic. Kenny Crawford.
22 minutes gone, Ali. Celtic 2, Livingston 1. It's a second of the afternoon for Japan international Daisen Maeda. Michael McGovern couldn't keep out Matt O'Reilly's shot. He parried it, and there was Daisen Maeda to head it in. Trickled in. 2-1 Celtic.
Villa 0, Tottenham 4. 4 minutes of added time remaining. 3:45 kick-off this afternoon. Liverpool against Manchester City. Full commentary on the way. Tottenham just 2 points behind Aston Villa in the table with the win. Kulusevski's ball from the dead ball line is blocked by Douglas Luiz, but Tottenham still have it. Lots of players here still in attacking positions. Kulusevski stopped in his tracks by Torres, edge of the box. Watkins tries to flick a header to a teammate. Tottenham win that one as well. Bissouma casually strokes a diagonal across to the left. Cash leaps up and nods the ball down. Moussa Diaby in the right back position. Passes forward to Cash, who's kicked by Bentancur, knocked over. And that'll be a free kick for Tottenham.
Yeah, needed that Aston Villa just to try and see the game out. No more goals. That's exactly what they'll be thinking, no more goals, even though Tottenham are doing their best to try and get another one. I think Tottenham have been brilliant today. I really do. I think they've nullified Ollie Watkins. We spoke about him before the game, about the form he's been in this season, and to nullify him and do what they've done has been really good. I think it's a real good performance.
Long ball over the top looking for Ollie Watkins. Dragusin gets his body in the way. Højbjerg plays back to Destiny Udogie. Just coming up to 3 o'clock as well, which means Wales-France about to start in the Six Nations. Commentary of that will start online, available via the BBC Sports website and app. You can also watch the game on BBC One. So Tottenham starting the day plus 16 goal difference. Their goal difference improves to plus 20. Villa starting on plus 22. Surely they go back to plus 18. So more good news for Tottenham. And Tottenham now have a player down as the game is dwindling away. It's going to be a free kick for Tottenham just inside the Villa half, but it's going to be interesting to see what sort of impact this result and these 2 performances have on both teams as we head into the closing games of the season, and particularly Villa at home against Ajax on Thursday night, because Unai Emery hasn't seen this too often in his time as Aston Villa manager.
Yeah, Ali, I think they've got to dust themselves down as quick as they possibly can. I think it's important that, listen, you try and put it to one side, you look at where you've gone wrong, you look at where you can get better, you analyse the game as much as you can, but also understand you're having a fantastic season. This one result doesn't determine what your season's been like, so something that'll hit them hard, but it's important they dust themselves down getting ready for Thursday.
Tottenham take the free kick. Højbjerg and Bissouma were standing about 2 yards apart, must have played 7 1-2s between each other before Villa even came and closed the ball down. The game is up. The Tottenham fans you can hear singing loudly, and Tottenham fans I'm sure will want their say on 606 this evening. Chris Sutton celebrating his birthday today, by the way, so make sure you wish him a happy birthday on 606 tonight. He'll be appearing on the Fantasy 606 podcast again this week, which comes out every Thursday on the BBC Sounds app. I think he's a Son Heung-min owner, so the Son goal and assist will please him too this afternoon. They'll certainly please Ange Postecoglou. Tottenham leading by 4-0, just over a minute to play, with Liverpool, Manchester City to follow. Full commentary on the way on 5 Live. Werner, has he kept that ball in play? No, he hasn't, down by the dead ball line. So Villa will have themselves a goal kick with a minute to go.
Hopefully Chris is in a good mood.
He should be today, Chris, shouldn't he, of all days? Yeah. He plays the grump sometimes, Conor, I think, actually. You get to know him, he's a pretty cheery chap, is Chris. I think he'll be in good form this evening on 606. So make sure you get your calls in. Chris, part of the Monday Night Club, of course, tomorrow night as well. Mark Chapman and the team. Updates of Chelsea, Newcastle into that one. Full commentary of Arsenal, Porto in the Champions League on Tuesday night. Some win for Tottenham here at Villa Park this afternoon. It's amazing how empty Villa Park is in terms of the amount of home fans that have left. Diego Carlos gets a foot in as Kulusevski tries to get away from him. Tottenham will have a late corner here. My stopwatch tells me we've got about 10 seconds to play. Will they have time to take the corner? They'll have time to do that. They won't get the ball into the box. They don't need to. That is a thumping win, and a really important win for them as well, because it moves them to within 2 points of Aston Villa. They've still got the game in hand. Villa on 55 points and Tottenham on 53. It all happened in the second half. James Maddison and Brennan Johnson with early goals. The win was wrapped up by Son Heung-min and Timo Werner. And we know this, don't we, Conor? We've seen this from this Ange Postecoglou team. When they're on it, Tottenham, particularly if they've got space to play and John McGinn was sent off in the second half, they can be absolutely lethal.
Oh, we've seen it tonight. We've seen it today, sorry. I think it's been a Tottenham performance, one of the best ones we've seen in a while. Listen, they're a top side anyway. We've seen big performances from them, but that second half I thought was phenomenal. I thought the fluidity they played with, Maddison getting the ball deep, playing through to Son, Kulusevski one side, Brennan Johnson, who, by the way, has just come into the team and played a lot, kind of coming from the bench in the last few weeks, I thought was outstanding. Some fantastic goals, and full credit to Tottenham. I thought they were brilliant.
You said to me at half-time, it's not going to be 0-0, is it?
I did, yeah. But we didn't expect it to be 0-0, I'll be honest. We expected goals in the second half. We really did, from two teams. Like I said, I think for Aston Villa, I think it's about dusting yourself down. This doesn't take away from the season they're having. They've got a big season, a big final few games ahead of them. But yeah, listen, going back to Tottenham, they were absolutely outstanding today.
4 goals in the second half. They all belong to Tottenham. 2 points behind Aston Villa in the race for the top 4, and they flipped the goal difference on them in this very game as well. It's finished Villa 0, Tottenham 4.
Ali, Conor, thank you both very much indeed. Statement victory in the Premier League this afternoon for Tottenham Hotspur.